Oh, yeah, baby. Okay. Yes, I'm green. Okay, I spray tanned. So many different colors. It's fine. Oh, fuck. It's all fucked up. It's fine. I'm fine. So we are going to react to the Whatever podcast with our good friend, Dr. Taraban, who triggered me in the first couple minutes. But before we go there, it was just brought to my attention that there is an OnlyFans models manager who called into Fresh and Fit. Did you guys hear about this? Apparently it's really good. Let me make sure I get it. Apparently it's really crazy is what it is. I don't know how we missed this. I still don't get it. 2, 4, here we go. Let's see.
Simple.
And it's why you're preserving your body count. Because you know if you go over your body count, you're home. Which cover you off, but I mean.
So it's like, it's crazy to me how like you're trying to like sit there and be like, you fuck other bitches when you got a girl.
I'm just trying to understand that, like, why you call women whores when you're literally doing
Because
the same fucking shit, bro.
Because I'm a man.
Okay.
We can fuck bitches and it doesn't matter. It actually increases our status.
You're a man.
You fuck dudes and it lowers your status.
Hold on. So isn't your manager a whore too? If you smashing her?
100%. I left that motherfucker. He was toxic, narcissistic, abusive relationship. He wanted to be a wannabe pimp.
Wait, he dated both you guys?
No, he tried. No. And I left him for it, bro, because he was just fucking weird.
Wait, you guys left with other?
What?
No, no. I've never fucked him. I never did anything.
I'm not dating him right now. We haven't dated in a year.
Hello?
Bro, you literally saw him 2 months ago.
That doesn't mean I'm dating him.
She knows the
You were
timeline.
with
friends. We do business
You
together.
don't understand that, Lex. I don't know what happens between you and Lex. It's not my business. All I'm saying is that that
Hey,
dude.
shout out to Lex, man. Like,
Sounds like Lex is a pimp.
Yo, Lex.
No, he's not a pimp. He's a wannabe pimp.
Okay.
Okay.
So that proves my point even more. Like he, like what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you not see like? do you not see that he? Do you not see the difference here that he had sex with both of y'all? So
he
that
didn't have
gives him
sex
some
with me.
status.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He didn't.
He
tried,
managed
though. He
me. He tried, but he didn't. And I didn't give him that because he was my manager. He managed my fucking brands and my deals and everything. But when I left him, he felt some sort of way because I was one of his top models. And with industries that we're in, it becomes like a legal pimp situation. So they feel like they own you. You know what I mean? And it's really hard with agencies.
I find it interesting that like you fuck 2 midgets and you try to like put her on the same wave as you as dating the guy for 10 years. That's kind of funny, man.
That is true though.
Like,
yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
I'm not gonna say shit. I'm not gonna shut up.
She said she's not dating him anymore.
Yo, where's Lex? Where's Lex, man?
Y'all not see the
Yo, Lex.
We need Lex on the show, bro.
Y'all not see the craziness in this?
Yo, Fresh. I got you, man.
Wait, you know him?
Yeah. Because he brought 2 girls on the show and
we need the real spiel.
I told you, man. Hey, if you want me to call him right now,
Wait,
I can.
the same guy, bro.
We need the real spiel because she's
Wait,
spilling the
what?
beans right now. We need the full beans.
Can you call him?
yo,
Because I
Fresh,
would
we
love to
coming
go
on?
the fuck off on him.
I
My
feel like you
attorney's
should
gonna be
speak
talking
up.
to him.
You should
me?
talk. I mean, she said they've been dating together. Like they've been dating for 10 years, but coming and going, and she's not been dating him since the.
We're not together.
Wait,
He's
wait,
not my
wait.
boyfriend. What he does is none of my business.
Wait, hold on, Fresh. I'm calling him right now.
Oh,
so that's
shit.
not dating.
What's calling him?
Yo, Lex,
So
you
that's
here?
not dating.
He can.
Yo.
He'll speak for him.
Yeah.
His assistant.
Quiet.
His assistant is
Quiet.
probably.
Lex, you we're talking now. All right, cool. All right, go ahead.
Yo,
Bro,
Lex.
is he ready to talk? 'Cause
Lex.
I'm ready to
All right,
expose
Lex,
his
go ahead,
motherfucking
go ahead.
ass.
Talk, nigga.
Hey, what's up, my brother?
Lex, can you hear us, bro?
Yeah, I hear you, my man.
So apparently, this girl on the panel is saying that you smashed the one in the middle, 35 years old, and you tried smashing her as her manager. What's going on here, bro?
And Ken, you pull up his IG because this nigga is a chat, bro. Pause.
He's not, bro.
What's
Yeah,
going
I mean he's fit. He's
Lex,
fit.
what's going on here, bro?
Tattoos, man.
You know how many steroids that man does?
Oh,
Inject
shit.
himself every
Yo.
fucking morning. Like, come on, bro.
All right.
Diamond Rolex and you know.
Bro, this man waited till I was.
Guys, I was a bartender for 11 years. Crazy. From now on, when people are calling in, I am going to describe their drink order and what they look like. I have no idea what he looks like. I literally am just pulling this video up, but so far I can barely hear him, but it's giving man who looks like he would drug your drink.
Was out of town to go into my home and remove my belongings and put into a fucking storage unit. Okay, y'all don't know what Lex fucking does.
Let him talk.
I was waiting for it to expose this motherfucker.
You've been here.
I was waiting to expose this motherfucker. Do not work with Fans Lunch or Lex Chain.
No, hold on.
You weren't shit. You was broke in Scottsdale when I met you.
I was not. I was working for another.
You were broke in Scottsdale when I met you. Cappin. Can't tell if this guy is white or Puerto Rican.
Agency, bitch.
Let him talk.
Bro, you wanted to wannabe pimp, bro. You wanted to be a wannabe pimp. And guess what? All the
It's giving Puerto Rican.
girls that work for you left you, bro. All the girls that work for you left you. You can't work fucking professionally. Talk to my fucking attorney.
Let him talk for 20 seconds, and then you can go ahead and say your piece and respond, okay?
Yeah, because we cannot hear him.
Let him say what he's got to say,
Let him say shit.
and then you can respond.
And
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Lex, got you, man. Go ahead.
What you want me to tell y'all, man?
I mean, go ahead, man. Like, say whatever.
Oh, look, man. I met Diamond. She was broke as fuck. She couldn't even pay her motherfucking rent. We were out in Scottsdale. She came to our fucking big-ass house, $2.6 million, with me and fucking a team. We fucked with her. We like, all right, Diamond, we gonna get you out the hole. She came with us to Vegas, stayed at our mansion there, and she had an opportunity. I'm the one who booked the...
Nah.
It's giving short man from New York. It's hard to tell.
Christina Santa did.
Hold on.
Let him finish.
Be quiet. Let him finish. And then we'll give you a
Diamond
chance.
out here. She lived in one of our content houses. Then she lived in another. Then she got some collab, and somebody let her drive a fucking Urus for the first time. And she was ready to run off with a bag and dip out with 20 bands that she thought she would make. And I'm like, how's your account doing now, Diamond?
It's actually doing really well without you fucking managing it, bitch.
Let him finish.
Really
Let
well,
him finish,
really
and we'll give you a
well.
chance.
All right, come on, Diamond.
Okay.
Hold on, man.
You ran out on your last manager, Diamond.
Come on, man.
You keep going, Lex.
Okay.
You keep going.
What
Because
else-
guess what?
what-
You're going to hear from my attorney soon. You're going to
Yo,
get fucking sued for taking my belongings out of my place and putting into a
She's
storage
claiming,
unit.
like, she's claiming that you went into her house and put some stuff in a storage unit or some shit.
Yeah, and I
like
can
that?
have Christina Santa stand for that, bro.
Hold on.
Her house. She doesn't live there.
Yeah, no, you're right. Christina Santa does. Christina Santa does. And guess what? We're fucking done with you. We're getting an attorney. We're suing your ass for doing everything.
Can I just say right off the bat, anytime, listen, I've seen so many interactions, okay? I know I've just seen a lot of shit. Anytime a girl is talking over a guy and she's not clapping, okay, there's a difference. Like the girls that clap when they're yelling, separate thing. But when they are talking over a guy like this, they're trying to spin the narrative. So she probably lied. She's trying to change it. But when you got girls that clap and they're yelling, they're seeing red. Okay, they would hit a bitch in that moment.
Okay,
and
let
damages that
him
you've done.
respond to the allegation that you made that you.
How many times I put you in a place to live, Diamond?
Okay.
Bro,
So-
you literally told me you had a content house in Miami with creators that made over $100,000 a month and trafficked me to Miami,
I
flew
put
me
you
to
over
Miami,
with
trafficked me,
No,
and put
no.
me. Yeah, no, bro. I would not say that if it wasn't for true. This motherfucker wanted to be a wannabe pimp. He trafficked me, told me all these fucking lies.
And see how he's now she might be telling the truth on that. I'm not picking a side, but the way that he's trying to spin the narrative on the phone, but it could just be because they're on a show and lag. but-
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Hold on one
okay.
sec, Diamond. We're gonna give you a chance to
fuck
finish
off,
here.
Lex. Fuck off.
So you made
fuck
that
off.
you made the allegation
No,
that
this
he,
shit's going to
hold
court.
on,
I'm
hold on,
taking that
hold
motherfucker
on,
to court.
hold on. Be
He's
quiet
gonna
for 2
get
seconds.
sued.
Be quiet for 2 seconds.
Fuck him.
Give it
Go
for
fuck
2 seconds.
yourself, Lex. Go
All right.
fucking suck.
And the reason that I say she might not be lying is because when he answered the phone, he was like, have a house, 2.3 million, 2.6 million, whatever. I'm telling you right now, guys that do that right away, there's probably some truth to what she was saying.
Jamie's dick, bro. Go
Okay.
get him to do your
So
shit.
anyway, so can you explain the situation with him going into a house and then taking her stuff out,
All right.
putting it in a storage unit? Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to explain it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we want to hear your side because she's claiming that you
Okay.
went into a
So
house.
Here's the deal. We have a content house here. Fans Launch has a content house here in Miami.
Yeah.
All right. Diamond decided.
Bitch, I made you that connect.
Whoa, shut up.
Stop.
Shut up when he's talking. We'll give you a chance to say your piece, but shut the fuck up when he's talking, man. I'm not going to tell you again. All right, go ahead, bro.
Diamond was paying less than anybody else there. I put her in there for free. She's paying a lower percentage off her split than anybody else. I was even giving Diamond a cut on all the other girls there just so she could help get some extra money and mentor them and have a more managerial position. Of course, Diamond gets somebody blows smoke up her ass one time, tells her she's going to sell sex chocolates that she was trying to get y'all to take earlier. I don't know. I might
Sure,
not
that's a brand deal. I didn't leave.
Okay, hold on.
Tells her she's going to sell sex chocolates and lets her drive a Urus for the first time, and now she runs off with 20 grand.
Okay.
That's basically it.
So did you take her stuff and put it in a storage unit? But it wasn't. You're saying that the house wasn't hers.
That house is not hers.
Okay, whose house was it?
That house is on a master lease for Fans Launch on 36 months.
Nope.
Okay.
A lot of times people in Miami, I know a lot of really wealthy business owners and stuff that live in gated communities with like fucking rappers and shit. And I know for a fact that houses there are they're kind of all owned by these millionaires pretty much. And going on, there's different golf and boat events. Not what you're thinking though. It's more like where like everybody who owns a boat gets together. It's not like, oh, free for all type shit. And then the golf cart thing, it's like the same thing. There's like a real estate connoisseur, like literally by name, or a yacht connoisseur or some shit. And what they'll do is they'll contract these homes out, kind of like Airbnb, kind of like that. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but that sounds like what that is.
Okay,
Cool.
Who's the owner of the house?
The owner of the house is Christina Santos. She's been on your show too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we know her. We know her.
So
That's
so
my business partner on the content house.
Yep.
So not only did Diamond run off with a bad on me, but she didn't pay Christina either.
I did. I paid her $2 grand to stay at the house.
hold on.
That hey, I'm gonna pay you, but never did. Oh, let me give you short money. I would never did it either.
Because she's claiming that Santa, real quick, Lex, she's claiming that Santa didn't know that you went in there to take her stuff out. Is that true? Or?
We didn't go in and take any stuff. Diamond has no lease on that house. She absconded.
Bro, I have proof. I can show.
It doesn't matter, like, if she doesn't have her name on a lease or anything. None of that shit matters. If somebody lives in your house, I know it's like one of the worst things. That's why I never want to own property. But like technically, if there's proof that she was staying there, even with the intent to stay longer, you can't remove her stuff like that unless there's some shit you got to follow. So something
right
like
now.
that.
Yeah.
We were kind enough,
No.
out of the goodness of our heart, to put it in public storage and not to throw it by the side of the road. Whatever.
Yeah, that sounds nice to me. Like to move it into storage, like that sounds nice, but like technically you still can't move it. I'm on his side right now.
Should probably belong.
Okay,
Damn.
so you took it out because it wasn't her house, is what you're saying.
What's that?
You took it out because it wasn't her house and she had left.
It wasn't her house, and she ran off with the money. She's staying at our content
$2
house,
grand. You're
and
broke
she,
enough
you
to
know,
fucking go over $2 grand.
Hold on, dude.
Diamond, hold on. Diamond.
Okay. All right, cool. So, yo, Lex, we're gonna give her a chance to respond to
Yeah.
that. Is there anything else you want to add?
Absolutely, brother.
Is there anything else you want to add to that?
No, man, let her say what she got to say. Man.
All right. Well, we'll let you hear what she's got to say. Go ahead, Diamond. What do you want to say? Go ahead.
All right, so we'll start off with where he started off. I met this guy in Arizona through another girl. Okay. I had met him. He told me that he had all these other creators making over $100,000 a month. Okay. Made me leave my other agency saying that I had all these promises, that I had a big future or whatever.
Yeah.
I trusted this man. I gave him, I risked everything. I left my family. I flew out here. He had no content house, no girls. I was his only fucking protege.
Oh my God.
And he had moved me from content house to content house.
Okay, tears. I can't do it. It just feels manipulative. However, from the conversation, he did promise her all those things, and it sounds like not his. So, I don't know. Is her story true or not? I don't know.
Telling me promises and all this shit, bro. And Christina Santo, the house that we were in, I came to her saying, yo, my manager and I are looking for a house. You have a house. We have an agency. Let's partner up. I made that connection between creating.
Okay, now I'm seeing holes in her stories. Okay, so she was promised that he had a content house already, and then she gets down there, it's her house, and now she's trying to make a deal. Shady.
Christina and I. Everything that has happened for Lex was because Christina Santa made those connections, not because him. He stays in his hotel room every fucking day. He doesn't leave his hotel room. He has Jamie does all his work, bro. Okay? Another thing is, he was not giving me any percentage of anything, okay? He was taking 60-70% of every girl that was in that house.
Okay, wait. He didn't give you anything, but he was taking 60 or 70%, and you were, according to him, getting a cut. This doesn't make sense. Why would anybody promise just a creator to make money off of the other girls, though? And that came out of his mouth, not hers.
Okay?
Damn.
70%. He literally, I had a girl crying on my shoulder that was managed by him literally the other week saying that he only sent her 200. Christina only received 3,000 of 45,000 grand. Okay? So this man thinks that he's on top of the world, but he doesn't know shit. Christina and
All right,
I.
real question, because you made the allegation that he trafficked you.
He did,
right?
bro.
How?
Okay.
Real quick, let me ask you this. Hold
he
on.
made me believe that he had a
Hold on.
content house out
But
here
don't-
with other
okay,
OnlyFans
that
creators.
word you can't use though.
She can, though, unfortunately. I think. Let me double check. I think if you're promised another job opportunity and the job ends up being something like else, hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fucked up.
Did he force you to get on the plane?
That's fucked up. You can't use that word.
Did he force you to get on the plane?
He bought my ticket.
So?
No,
But-
listen.
but
I'm not saying
Did he force you to
Bro,
get on the plane?
Listen to me. This man told me he had all these models, showed me all these numbers, said that he had a content house out here, bought me a plane ticket. I trusted this man enough to fly out here because I thought he was a whole agency.
But did he force you to get on the plane?
No.
Myron.
Okay,
You can't say
so
he
you can't
trafficked
sit
you.
there and say that he
Cannot say
trafficked
that.
you, bro. When you
That
made
is
the conscious
legal.
decision.
Oh my God, y'all. Okay. We need to go over human trafficking. Okay. Because it seems like, and this blows my mind. It blows my mind still. Love Fresh and Fit, but it blows my mind that after the whole Tate stuff, this is still unclear. Like, even the law knows that there's things like coercion and shit. It's like recognized, but
And
whatever.
therefore,
You made the conscious decision to travel.
Trafficking, though, I believe if you're like held there against your will, it could suffice. However, if she left her job and he was the one that bought plane ticket there, maybe, but like I think that's an organized thing. I think this is something separate.
over here, and he covered your ticket too. I mean,
that's nice.
that's
of
being
him.
an adult.
Yeah.
You can't say that he
Okay.
trafficked you. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
At the end of the day, this man was
Okay,
taking all of
hold
every
on.
girl's money,
Okay.
and he was being a narcissistic, controlling.
Okay, hold on. I asked ChatGPT. Okay, human trafficking refers to the illegal trade of humans for the purposes of forced labor, sexual exploitation, or other forms of exploitation. It involves the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons through force, fraud, coercion, deception, or abduction for the purpose of exploiting them. This exploitation often involves forced labor, sexual exploitation, slavery, or involuntary servitude. Human trafficking is a grave violation of human rights, is recognized as a serious criminal offense under international law. Okay, but what about in the U.S.? In the United States, human trafficking is defined by federal law as the use of force, fraud, or coercion to compel someone into commercial sex acts, labor, or services against their will. This includes situations where minors under the age of 18 are induced into commercial sex. What is commercial sex? Human trafficking can occur within the country, domestic trafficking, or involve bringing individuals into the country from elsewhere, international trafficking, serious crime under U.S. law and efforts to combat it. Okay, unclear. Because she left, so she could leave, right?
Abusive man, and I can.
How much did he pay you total? Gross.
Bro,
How much did he pay you total
this
gross?
guy took all my money, bro.
I'm asking. That's not what I asked
He
you.
didn't do shit.
How much did he pay you gross?
$2,000.
So out of my OnlyFans,
Yeah.
probably about 20-40 grand. What I
He
make
paid you $20,000 to $40,000 over a span of how long?
about like 6-7 months.
That is good.
That's pretty good.
No,
Hold on. $20,000 over the course of 6 or 7 months is not good. It's average income.
I mean compare. But okay.
So you were
another
you were
thing-
getting roughly
another-
$4,000
okay.
to $5,000 a month.
Yes.
And he
Okay.
can
And then
free
okay.
housing as
and
well.
then when I came to him, yes.
Stop calling it free housing. It bothers me so much. You mean where they work?
And then when I came to him about Christina, about how
Hold
she had a house and how we wanted to partner up, Christina was like, "Yo, you're lit. Let's get it. I know Lex. Let's do it." And then we started running the house, and then he started becoming controlling. Christina started noticing it. I started noticing it.
How is he being controlling?
He wanted to know every move of every girl. He was telling who we could fuck and who we can't fuck and who we can collab with and who we can't collab with,
Alright.
who we can hang with. He wanted to know every one of our moves, and that's not how agencies work. You run the messaging service, and that's all you fucking do because that's all you're fucking hired for. You don't run girls' lives. You're not a fucking pimp. You're not Hugh Hefner. You don't have the fucking money like that. And everything. He's saying that I had all this money. I had $2,000 out when I left this motherfucker. So if he's saying that he's rich as fuck and have,
Okay.
and then okay,
Free housing as
and
well.
then when I came to him, yes, and then when I came to him about Christina, about how she had a house and how we wanted to partner up, Christina was like, "Yo, you're lit. Let's get it. I know Lex. Let's do it." And then we started running the house, and then he started becoming controlling. Christina started noticing it. I started noticing it.
How is he being controlling?
He wanted to know every move of every girl. He was telling who we could fuck and who we can't fuck and who we can collab with and who we can't collab with,
Alright.
who we can hang with. He wanted to know every one of our moves, and that's not how agencies work. You run the messaging service, and that's all you fucking do because that's all you're fucking hired for. You don't run girls' lives. You're not a fucking pimp. You're not Hugh Hefner. You don't have the fucking money like that. And everything. He's saying that I had all this money. I had $2,000 sitting in my account when I left this motherfucker. So if he's saying that he's rich as fuck and have the money that he has, then why the fuck is he tripping over $2,000?
Wait,
Okay.
did you sign a contract?
You know how invalid that contract is? Because I had 3 managers on my account.
Did you read
And-
the contract beforehand? Babe,
Well,
you
no,
gotta
I
read the
did,
contract.
I did. But when 2 managers, I had 3 managers on my account. He kicked the 2 managers off, and they left, and he took both of their percentages and never renegotiated
Was
the
this
contract.
under the same agency?
I had an attorney look at it.
All right.
I'm not stupid. I have an attorney.
Okay. We got your side. Is there anything else you want to add to it, Diamond?
No, I'm just done with
That's
this
it.
motherfucker.
Okay.
He's gonna
Yo,
be getting
Lex, how
sued
much did you
soon.
pay her total? She's saying you paid her about 20,000.
50 with Diamond. I think Diamond's best month she did about $40,000.
That's bullshit. I can show you my numbers
Hold
right
on,
now.
hold
On
on.
average, I could bring Diamond's numbers up. On average, between her paid and her free account.
Yeah,
right
and then
now,
the
last
percentage.
Wait.
Yo, notice how when you spoke, he didn't say a word.
Yeah,
but when
yeah.
he's speaking,
He
you
laughed.
won't shut up.
He laughed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but he didn't say it. He let you finish your
you're right,
sentence.
you're
Like
right,
he finished,
you're
he let you finish everything.
Stopped doing content and decided she would pursue a career in selling sex chocolates because somebody blew smoke up her ass and let her drive a Urus once.
Bro, because they don't make me
Yo,
fuck
all right,
midgets.
so,
You literally put me in the
Lex,
position
yo,
to.
shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up.
For the last 2 months, about $25,000 every single month and splitting 50-50 with her.
So how much? So hold on, bro, because she's claiming. Yo, Lex, hold on, Lex. She's claiming that you paid her only $20K over four to 5 months.
6. I can pull them up.
How much did you actually pay her then?
What's up?
Or over that 4 to 5 month span?
Whatever she's made, she's got 50% of.
Damn.
Out of our 50%, we paid our entire sales staff, our executive staff, and we paid Christina for the content house because Christina's
Nope.
a partner.
Nope.
So
Nope.
when Diamond ran off with the bag, she ran out on everybody. She's trying to tell this woman, Christina, who's been nothing but good
Bro,
to her,
I've
that,
been
oh,
with
I'm a bad
Christina.
person or whatever, but me and Christina are partners here, you know, and the money she ran out on and stopped paying on, she took that money out of Christina's hand, out of the bills Christina got
And,
her. So
Okay. So you said you gave her. Do you remember what it was roughly that you paid her? Because she's claiming you paid her about.
Hey, Jamie, bring me up her last 2 months.
Oh, Jamie.
Hold on, we're gonna go to that exact
And
line.
the
Yeah.
sense oh shit, Jamie.
Yeah. So you're saying that you gave her okay? Because she's claiming you paid her $20,000 over 4 to 5
Oh,
months.
Jamie, okay.
Lex Rogan. Lex Rogan.
You know?
Yeah. Because she's saying you only paid her $20,000 over 4 to 5 months is what she's saying.
Cap, Diamond. You know that ain't true. Diamond, come on, I spent
Bro, you
$4,000
literally
on
lied
your
to
birthday
Christina
dinner.
saying I was making about over 40 grand dollars on my accounts when you know that I only make about 10, 20K on my accounts.
Come on, Jamie. Come
So
on.
if you're making 10 to 20K, that means you made quite a bit of money then.
No, I haven't. I've literally have made like I can show you my fucking numbers, bro. Give me my phone, I will show you.
Hey, yo.
Give me my fucking phone, I will show you these numbers, bro.
Yeah, hey,
Okay.
hey,
I'm not fucking lying. Why would I lie about my numbers?
You lied about
you want to
trafficking,
use the bathroom,
which is crazy.
Besides,
You know how many girls said Lex
Diamond,
trafficked
one at a
them?
time.
No, I'm not the first one.
Oh, I can go
Bathroom?
first.
yeah, go ahead. Bathroom.
The red one.
One at a
Yeah,
time,
she has
please.
2 phones?
Okay.
Well, or which one is it?
It finally got exciting.
Her phone's
Yep.
charging.
And you think Christina's on your side. We
Hold on,
literally
hold on,
talked to
hold
an
on.
attorney yesterday. We're locking
I
your
don't
ass
know, man.
out, bro.
Yo, yo, Lex.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Lex,
Go
hold on. All right, go ahead.
No, Lex. So she also exposed that you dated the girl on the panel, for
Yep.
like 10 years, or whatever.
It's
And you
true?
saw her recently, 2 months ago. Is that true or no?
She ran off like end of January
No.
or something.
Not Diamond.
I think Diamond's just jealous, just mad.
What's your name?
She's telling you the truth. Me and
Lex,
her don't
they're
fuck.
not-
I think she's just jealous that I don't.
Bro,
fuck.
get the
He's-
fuck over it. They're talking
Lex.
about her.
Lex. They're,
I think she's mad.
they're
that
not
nobody-
talking.
Remember,
They're
he's
not
probably not
talking
watching
about
the show.
me.
Oh, yo,
you
yo,
So you
narcissistic
can't see who it
fuck.
is. Oh, yeah, let's stay on topic real quick before we move on to that.
All right, so I joined this guy in October. Here's my numbers. Here.
Diamond, hold up.
No, fuck off. I'm showing them my numbers.
Wait. Lex.
Okay, that's my VIP.
Let
Look at
her-
my numbers.
let,
Look at my numbers.
Diamond show
All right,
my
from-
numbers.
so-
and then-
From
All right,
October.
I have from June 1st, 2023.
No, not June. October is when I joined Lex. I was with many
Okay, you gotta
agencies
put the
before
filter. Put the filter so it's appropriate because you have it from June.
Tell her show you both accounts though. Don't let
Yeah.
her show one.
that. No, I
So,
got you, Lex.
two
Trust
counts.
me, I got you,
Yo,
bro.
this is some like FBI
I
shit.
got you.
I know, right, bro? Hey, you're fresh. Like, that's
This is
why.
prime content, bro.
That's why
What the fuck?
I didn't want to say it because like it's so intricate.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, bro, like, come on, Lex. I know
That's
Lex.
a big word, Chris. Intricate.
Here.
You
got it, bro.
Yeah.
So on my VIP. So that's from October to now.
All right.
Intricate.
So,
Actually, not even from now because I left him a month ago.
all right. So you want to adjust it then? Please.
Keep laughing, bro, because you know it's fucking true.
All right.
All
So,
right, Lex.
all right, go ahead. What does Lex have on his side that he paid her?
Lex, can you send me a screenshot, please?
Oh, send you the screenshots? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's pulling up her stuff, so it's like
Yes, nigga. Like, send me a text or like, you know.
we need it right now.
Can we all just get along?
Happy family.
Happy family.
All right.
Nope.
Yeah. All right.
So only 15 grand.
Okay.
15 is
Okay.
what I got off my VIP, okay? That's half
Alright.
of the 30, and let me show you my free.
All right. So from this is what I have here.
October to the last access.
Wait.
From
all right.
October
Okay.
To the end of
30th,
January.
2023 to February 1st, 2024, I see a gross here of 39,237 with a net of 31,388.
Mm-hmm.
So roughly 32K net and then 40K gross, roughly.
Yeah, and then 20% taken away from OnlyFans, and then 50% taken away from him.
Well, I'll be honest with you. For him to give you, if he paid you 20K,
Bro, but
that does mean that he
but you
gave
guys
you
never
50%.
let me finish. You guys never let me finish.
Wait.
Okay.
So wait.
So
Pause,
our
wait.
agreement.
Pause. Lex,
Between 2 accounts. Guys.
please have your screenshots ready.
All right, I'm gonna get the screenshots for you, and I'm gonna pull up the Zelles that I sent her. Not even.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I mean,
I can pull up the messages
okay,
too.
real quick. Like I see here, gross 40K, and if he gave you 20,000, that doesn't mean he gave you 50%.
That's half.
That is roughly half.
2 accounts.
Diamond, I don't understand here. Like literally, this is from your own numbers.
There's some holes
He
in
did
that
give
story.
you half.
Yep.
I never said he didn't.
What? Yo!
No.
Yo!
Bro,
Yo!
I never
Yo!
said he didn't. I
Clarify, did they put the second account? Is that what they fixed when she took the phone again?
said he gave me about 20 grand. No, I said that Lex flew me out here believing that he had other OnlyFans creators having this content house already situated, but he didn't. I was his only model that he had. And when I left him, he got so butthurt.
But he paid you though.
He paid you though.
You know why?
No.
Because
If he paid you, it's not trafficking.
No, I didn't lie, bro. Why the fuck would I lie?
And because she was able to leave. Right? Yeah.
I'm literally showing you my numbers. I said he only paid me about 20, 30 grand of what I made. That's what I made with him. I didn't make a bank with this guy. I didn't. I wouldn't leave him if he was making me $100,000 a month. That would be a different story. He wasn't. He wasn't working for me. He didn't fit for me. I told him, yo, you're running my account to the ground after you fired my manager and moved her to Chicago. Okay? I can literally call her up right now and she can tell you how fucking narcissistic this dude is.
By the way, the woman she's referencing
But
Is your ex.
wait.
Yeah.
He
'cause
gave you 50%
Yo,
though.
he's smashing the whole team.
Yo,
He's smashing the whole team.
Like, yo, he gave you the he gave you 50% though.
I like it.
Yo.
Because you were framing it as if he didn't pay you, you didn't get your money, and then you gave a
No.
complaint about all the other girls that didn't get paid.
You.
But
No.
he gave you your half. He did give you what you were owed.
You guys never heard what I was finishing. So he moved me to the concert house. The agreement was that I was going to manage these.
I absolutely hate like when they were clearly done with their arguments and shit. Like if you were mid-sentence, okay, that's fine. But in terms of like fights, you guys know if you're fighting back and forth, I didn't finish. It's like, shut up, you did, because we had 2 other conversations. I don't like
girls and get 10% of each girl that we managed. Okay. I referred to him about 4 girls, never got my referral agreements from them. Okay. He still manages about 2 of them, still makes money off them. Okay. The agreement was that if I was going to be living in the house rent free, that I would rent up the.
Oh yeah, he said that she was getting a pay cut of the girls there. There were no girls there. They just had 2 that came on later. He also promised her, what else did he promise her? I thought he promised her 60 or 70% of her shit. I don't know.
These girls with my traffic, helping Christina, who was also going to be running up the house with us, run up the girls. Okay. I told him one day, yo, can you please lower my percentage to 40% because you aren't making me shit. You're running my account to the ground. I don't mind giving
So are
you
you
the-
saying you were making more money before he put you under his management?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was actually, no, not even more. It was the same. It was the same. It was the same.
Show me
I
your stuff prior to
just
October then. Let me see what. No, because you only showed me
Okay,
his
okay.
span when you worked with him. Let me see what you were making before you, because you joined him
So
October.
these are all my statements.
No.
Right, my agency, June. Look, that's all I've done. I haven't been doing OnlyFans that long.
Ask her how long she's been doing OnlyFans. It definitely wasn't 4 months. She told y'all 4 months at the beginning of the show.
Because I did look at it, bro. It's literally right there. The statements are right there.
This is over a year, but I need you to go from before he went under, because you were in management with him from October to February, right?
On her best month.
Okay,
I remember,
so
was it $13?
prior to October,
Lex, shut the fuck up. He's talking.
prior from October, can you put it from prior to October? Because if we're gonna compare apples to apples,
It is.
No, it's not, because-
Yes, it is. It's when I started. Go to the bottom of the statements. I started in June.
This shit
That's
confusing,
literally
I'm
when it
telling
tells
you to put a filter on it, but you're not doing
There's
that.
no filter.
You started in June of 2023.
Yes.
And then when did you go
That's-
under management with him?
October.
Of 2023.
Here, give me the aggregation.
Okay, so
I was making about 10 grand with other agencies, and then he made me the same amount of money. He never made me more. It was always like the kind of the same. So I literally told him, yo, no hard feelings. I'm gonna go on my own way, manage my own account. You can keep the girls' percentages. I don't want them. You can lower their
I gotta
percentages.
add this up because she's not putting a filter here. All right, so I'm gonna literally go and compare it. So, plus 12.
At the end of the day, this motherfucker's getting sued, and he can laugh all he wants.
I believe she would, like, the reason she was going to be getting more than the other girls is because she would be managing them or some shit.
literally have an attorney.
What are you gonna
looking
sue
at
him for?
everything. It doesn't matter, bro. It's
You
I'm
gotta
not.
have a
That's literally
infraction.
between me and my attorney.
I hate when people
And he
do
thinks
that.
Christina Santos' partner, bro. Okay, Lex, you do you, boo.
So on your own, you made $32,000 over the span.
Out of curiosity, does anybody know what happens if things like this happen? Is pimping digitally recognized under like the employment law? Like what happens if, let's say, OnlyFans, the actual platform, forgets to pay you? You can file like an employment complaint. Or no, not on these platforms, because it's not like it's a freelance thing. But what happens when you have the pimp involved? I don't know.
Of June 2023 to September 2023. Then with him, you made $40,000. So he did make you more money.
But divide that by half, and then 20% that OnlyFans takes.
But didn't your
Yeah.
other management group charge the same?
He only charged about 40%. And then this is when
So
Lex,
you made a higher percentage on
With
your
my
other
last-
thing, even
yeah.
though you made less?
Myron,
Yes.
I feel like maybe Myron's just being thorough, but it feels like March. He is trying to find any reason to be on the other guy's side. He's probably just being thorough.
No, I had 40% taken away from my other agency, and that's when I met Lex. And he
Yeah, that's what you
50%.
just
he
said.
sold me this dream. No, he sold me this dream, saying that like if you manage the girls in the
I'm
house,
looking at the numbers. He took 50% from you.
that's what he said.
Yeah. Well, the numbers show that too. That he did take 50%
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah,
So the other agency took 40% from you.
which is lower.
Yeah, but you made more money with him.
No, I didn't.
Myron.
40% is more money than 50%.
Yeah, but you made more money with Lex.
No, I didn't, because it was always
made
I think Myron's conflating the percentage that the other manager took to how much she was making.
40K and you made 32K with the other people. I'm literally looking at the numbers now.
Look at the monthly statements. I can show you both accounts.
I added them up. That's how I know. I'm looking at this and I'm telling you that
So when
you made 32K with your prior agency. You made 40K with him roughly. And then, yeah, he might have taken a higher percentage, but you still probably made more with Lex.
you know what? I'm not even gonna argue about this.
But she was only on OnlyFans June 2023.
Numbers.
You're right. And at the end of the day,
If you don't like him, that's fine.
Right,
That's your
and
personal situation.
Right, and I should just be able to leave
But
a
the
fucking
numbers
guy
don't-
and say, "Yo, I'm
Okay.
done working with you without you
Okay.
having fucking
That's
harassed
fine.
me."
But hold on. See, you have a personal vendetta with him, which is absolutely fine.
It's not personal. I just want to be done with this motherfucker.
Okay.
That's literally it.
Look,
It's like
look,
a fucking
look.
toxic
You need to
ex
stop being
relationship.
emotional, okay?
I'm just mad.
I'm objectively looking at the numbers here. You made more money with him. Now, you might not like him, and it came with other situations. Cool. I understand that. However, looking at the
Wait, so she didn't make more money with him, and then he said now she is? I'm confused.
numbers here, comparing it, you absolutely made more money with him. And he paid you your 50%. Contrary to what you had been saying earlier.
Bro, all I'm saying is just wait.
Bro, this is why this is dangerous shit.
Yeah.
You saying that he trafficked
That's
you and all
why
this
I
other
kind of
stuff?
wanted
That
to
is
bring
scary.
Christina Santa, bro.
He paid you more.
Why? So you could have another girl agree with you? Come on.
It's
Okay.
not. It's
You
not.
you can't look,
Y'all don't know everything.
I'm not even saying that this guy isn't a narcissistic fuck. I'm sure anybody who goes into a pimp industry, it probably is. Okay. I don't even care about that. If that's what she would want the girl on for, like, nobody here will give a fuck about that. I don't care about it. They don't care about it. Trying to defame somebody's character, especially online, is like not cool, right? So, I don't know.
I'm telling you, you guys.
I'm looking at the numbers.
Right.
I'm-
It'd be one thing if she's like, I want to bring my former manager here because maybe he has something to say about it because he got fired or whatever.
looking strictly at
The
the
numbers, but
That's
you
all we
guys
know.
don't. Right, and that's all you guys know, and
Okay.
and that's fine.
It's a
But
pen.
You guys don't
objectively
need to know
speaking,
more.
hold on. You can't sit there and say he stole money from you.
I never said he
trafficked
stole
you.
money from me.
You said that
I
he stole
gave
money
up-
from other girls. You're saying that he
Bro,
doesn't
he's
pay
taking
them.
70%
He doesn't give them
of
the
each
percentage.
fucking
The guy said that she stole money.
people in that house. How is that
But
okay?
he paid you though.
Because I was renting the girls up. I was doing them a favor, and when I left, because
So I think if I had to steal, man, she was managing those girls and he was not paying her for the girls thing. So that's 20% of each girl. And she said, keep it. I'm leaving. I told them to keep it. But they're like disregarding that for some reason. So although she did more work, arguably, I don't know what managing girls means. Like, is this like mommy from like the strip club? Like, is this our mom? Like, what is this? Because if you're supposed to get if this is like a paid position, then yeah. But if this is just something he like agreed to, like I said, this is just like he said, she said.
I'm the traffic and Christina's the traffic, he went crazy.
This is crazy, bro.
You guys have just been dumbass bitches.
You see how he talks? You see how he talks?
Any guy that says dumbass bitches is probably unhinged. Just keeping it 100 is probably unhinged. Does not like women, has a disdain for women on some degree. Yikes.
You see how he talks?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
You see how he talks?
I mean, you're saying kind of crazy stuff about
You know,
him.
I really don't care what y'all think, because at the end of the day, I'm done with this motherfucker, and he's a sad fucking piece of shit who doesn't leave his hotel room, who nobody fucking likes. Get what?
Okay.
I really want to cover, I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, but there's a documentary on HBO Max with Drake Bell. You guys remember Drake? And he comes out about how he was essayed by one of the dialogue coaches, and they go into this whole thing about how kids from like all that, Ned Declassified, Zoe 101, how like a lot of them were abused, some of the stuff they did. And Drake's story is so crazy. And I feel like the way he tells it puts everything in a different perspective in terms of believe her. You don't, but believe Drake. There's something that happened with Drake where this girl lied about her age, and he got arrested for it. She eventually took back the false allegation, but to this day, people think that Drake was asking for explicit photos for minors. He went to Mexico. I don't know if you guys have heard this story or not, but she lied about her age to him. There's proof. It's in the court documents. But if you happen to be on TikTok or see people talking about this story, I'm still seeing people say that he was doing something wrong with younger girls and then coming on this documentary talking about abuse. He was abused. False allegation. So spread it.
Like what?
You don't like him. I
Yeah,
understand that. You
me
dislike
too.
him. Fine. But
He
you
said something specifically in it, like, no, I knew if I told anybody, nobody would believe me. And it makes you think like, there was like so many other quotes that I was like, wow, this is really going to validate some of the female experience. Not the hoes that be lying, okay? Off with their heads, okay? But I know sometimes when we hear about SA, we kind of group the false allegation ladies into it because it's like, how can you believe everybody? But this really reframed the way that I think victims want to talk about it. Aside from that, there was something else. The way Drake. Something about Drake. It'll come to me.
can't say he didn't pay you.
I never said he didn't.
So what's the problem?
I said there's no problem. I just want to be done with this motherfucker, but he keeps harassing me, bro. Christina Santa, okay. Christina Santa owns the house. This mother.
Oh, I meant to say, boys who get SA'd is a lot more common than people think. A lot more common. And Drake's the first one that I've really seen speak up. Last time we heard of anything, it was like the MJ case. And to me, I thought that was inauthentic. But I think we're going to see a lot of young or now grown men coming out. We'll see. But a lot of boys, like they say EPAR rates, statistics. People think that it's like the most EPAR'd people in the country are women ages 20 or something. And no, it's young boys and young girls below the age of 15. They're the same. So, just saying.
Fucker changed all the locks to her house to where she couldn't get in. Okay? He locked her out of her own house. Okay? Grabbed my shit and waited till I was out of town, put it into a storage unit.
Real quick. Okay.
Case closed.
What do you got to say about this, Santa? Because she's trying to say that you locked her out of her own house, blah blah blah.
Christine doesn't like you. She's literally leaving you.
Hold
We
on,
literally
Diamond,
talked
Diamond,
to Andy,
Diamond,
an attorney, yesterday, bro.
Diamond, can you let him finish?
Who are users and abusers like Diamond always fuck Christine over. And that's my girl, and I'm always trying to look out for her. She might be naive at times, but she's good people. So Diamond's ass.
And I suspect, if I have to make a prediction, we are going to see a lot more older women essaying boys. Okay, we're starting to see some of it, but there's going to be a lot more. And right now, people think that just because it's like, oh, you got to sleep with a hot teacher, it's like, no, he was EPAR'd. Okay, I think we're going to see a lot more men talking about it.
Let me call
Hopefully. If you guys are not a part of the Discord, I want to watch this documentary in the Discord, so we're probably going to do that.
Can I call her?
Torshaa Speakeasy.
Didn't pay anybody. Ran off with the bag to Las Vegas, but left shit at the house.
What bag?
So I told Jamie, go ahead, change all the locks so Diamond can't get back in there because I'm not having Diamond trespassing. Be nice enough, take all of her stuff and put it in storage for her. Give her the key to storage when she gets back.
do it.
No problem. Bye, Diamond.
I'll call Christina. Let me call Christina. Let me
we'll
call
let you
Christina.
call her.
Let me call Christina.
Real quick. Yo, Lex, let me ask you this. So Christina owns a house, but you said there was a master lease on it, which means that there was.
So Fans Launch has a master lease on the property.
Okay.
So Fans Launch and it's a percentage.
It's an LLC.
Is a partner.
Do you own that LLC?
No,
Yes, I own the LLC. Well,
the house does not have a business license to be a business house.
No. Hold on. So there was a master lease on it, and Christina might be the landlord and owns it. However,
my brother, I mean, I have a real estate portfolio too. There's a master lease for 36 months. It's
Okay.
On a percentage basis of revenue generated in the property.
Okay.
It's all above board business. You
Okay.
Need to understand real estate. I know you got some property. Man,
okay.
you know?
So yeah, no, because if it's a master lease, bro, it's your crib.
Bro, but guess what? The contract became invalid when the third owner partnership left the contract.
Diamond was there basically squatting on the property, not paying.
I was not
the
even in
company
town.
for
I
the
literally.
contract, and not paying Christina. So I made an executive decision.
I'm calling her.
to remove
Yeah,
Diamond
go ahead, call her.
I'm calling her.
Something to keep in mind. This is a recent article study about boys abuse massive numbers. When it comes to, I'm not 100% sure, but it seems like young boys may be more vulnerable in things like school, church, something else. I have to double check on that, but I would argue like there's a lot of older men now that were young boys in Hollywood that were E-part. They got Dan Schneider is the one I'm talking about, who is either he spent months in jail or he's still in jail.
Yo, this is interesting shit.
I'm calling her.
Because here's the thing: if he had the master lease, Diamond, he does have the right to go in there
the
and take your shit
contract
out.
isn't valid anymore. I had an attorney, and
This is the
Christina
new
had an
CSI
attorney look
Miami.
over it.
We'll end the case accordingly. Case closed.
I don't care if they enjoyed it. It's still E-par. And maybe this is not something that men will necessarily comprehend because they're sex driven, but you are groomed and it will affect you. It might not affect you right then, but it will affect you down the line. It actually does cause a lot of psychological distress. I don't care if you enjoyed it. I don't care if you came from it. It doesn't matter.
At the end of the day, I have an apartment now. Guess what, Lex? You don't own me anymore. Move the fuck on, bitch.
Hold on. Lex, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Damn it, Andrew.
What about Kels?
What's that?
What about Kels in the green?
He might not be watching the show, bro.
The girl in the green, Kels.
You should say hi.
Oh, Kelsey?
Yeah.
What about Kelsey?
So Diamond said that you guys were dating for like 10 years off and on.
No, she said that.
Oh, so she said that, and then like
Kelsey's family, man. We know each other well.
So you're cool, but you're not like dating anymore.
We don't what?
You're cool.
So I personally know a few men who were groomed. And so when you say something like there's this grooming buzzword, to think that this is like feminist propaganda is just so ignorant. Boys are absolutely groomed.
We're not dating anymore.
We're not dating anymore.
We're not dating. We've had a short period of dating and a long period of how would it be a long-term, low-commitment relationship.
So
There's something that happens to the body when either person goes through an E-par situation. Okay, read it backwards. And it's that because it's so distressing, whether you think it is or not in the moment, it is on some degree. They figure it out later, okay? You might not have been at like any physical threat, but it will affect you. And they say that because of it, your body will involuntarily protect itself by making you this goes for boys or girls. And a lot of times you'll hear stories from girls and boys that talk about why they have EPAR fantasies. And it's, if you ask them about it, like on one-on-one, some of them will tell you that they were EPAR'd and that was the only way they could get off. And so now that's why they desire it. Okay. Just saying.
Fucking right.
So hold on. So she's capping then because she said 2 months ago.
Lex, come on, man. Lex, come on, man. Tell the truth, nigga.
Hold on.
And if you don't think it will affect boys because maybe they want it, shame is something that I think shame is one of the worst, the most detrimental emotion, whatever it is that affects young kids throughout their lives. You could be bullied one time and there's shame that's involved and you got a lot to fucking untangle, okay? When you are a kid, whether you are 17 or not, you are in a very vulnerable position, especially when it comes to sexuality, how you view yourself, all this stuff, that when an adult sexualizes you, you will forever have trust issues until you figure it out. You will forever have low self-esteem. I'm just saying, not forever, okay? I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying, like, these are things that do affect you later. They might not show up for 10 years. And a lot of people who have been SA'd in their childhood start to get memories of it when they're 30, okay? Their brain protects them until it's safe for the memories to show themselves. Obviously, there's a lot of things that could go wrong with memories, going to a therapist and sort of trying to create something that wasn't there. Very different than what I'm talking about. It is clear as day. Okay, just wanted to put that out there.
I want to quantify that.
Yeah.
Not
Christine
just 10
doesn't want
years,
to be pulled
fucking
into that.
10 years like standing
She
in.
doesn't want
Hey,
anything 'cause
you know what?
And young boys are at so much risk because parents don't even think that an adult is trying to do something to the young boy. And it's like one of the most scary things I think anybody could go through. I'm not saying that the boys' experience is worse than the girls, but a lot more people are going to be like, why is this 40-year-old man trying to take my 7-year-old to Disneyland, whatever it is? Whereas like an adult male who wants to take the guys to basketball, maybe he's a coach, okay? There's a lot more areas of, you know.
I don't have a girlfriend at this point, or she didn't have a girlfriend. See, now I'm on that. I only want to fuck for love or for money. Diamond stole that line from me.
You literally can see the money on my account from the money.
To see Diamond, regurgitating all of the rhetoric that I basically embedded in her mind.
All right, Lex. All right. So you fucking gonna agree? All right, cool.
Well, no.
Come on, nigga.
She's not exposed then because it doesn't correlate. Because they're not dating, right?
The answer is yes.
All right.
But in the past, yeah, they obviously smash. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So she lied multiple times.
Nigga, it's fine, man. Come on, man. It's fine,
Anyhow,
man.
We should be closing up.
Case
Wait,
closed.
hold on. Wait. Oh, she didn't answer the phone? What's her name?
She said that she doesn't want to be pulled into this right now because it's literally a whole legal case that we're working on right now that y'all don't know about and that Lex doesn't know about. So I really
What do you? But my question is this: what are y'all gonna sue him for?
We're not suing him. We just want to be we just want to be done with this.
You just said.
Yo, I'm suing him. All I'm saying is that we don't want to work with this man anymore because he's fucking controlling and he's a narcissistic, abusive man.
Yeah.
That's literally it. End of conversation.
But he's not involved in your dealings anymore, right?
Right. Right.
So-
So why the fuck are we still talking to this motherfucker?
Yo, Lex.
What the hell?
Did you smash Diamond?
He wished.
Yo. Lex, did you smash Diamond?
Yo. What's up, guys?
Did you smash Diamond?
Did I smash Diamond? No, I've never smashed Diamond. I think that's why she's mad at me.
All right. Okay.
That was funny.
You're honest about that.
Okay.
I love how men
Yo,
think.
Lex, question for you.
See, why would I fucking lie,
Is there
bro?
any? Yo, hold on.
That one thing you're honest about.
Look, man. Guys. I'm trying to ask like the fucking real questions here. So is she under contract or under any legal obligation to pay you or give you any type of dividends from her earnings?
To pay us right now. She's got 14 months remaining on her contract.
Bro, I had an
think if she
attorney
hasn't
look at
submitted
this.
content and ran off with the bag. She's actually under a 60%.
He keeps saying bag. I ran off.
Okay.
Show you the contract.
Yeah. Okay. So she is under contract, and how much money does she owe you allegedly? How much money does she owe you allegedly?
I'd say right now she probably owes me about $20,000.
What the
Okay.
fuck?
What she made?
Okay, so you're saying that she ran off with a bag. Can you explain that real quick?
Well, we had a video that was releasing, a collaboration, and then right as it hit and got posted, she ran off. And usually those videos you do about like $25,000, $30,000.
You can see my numbers from the month I left him.
It probably did like half of that. So maybe you know it's like
So let me just so I can understand this. So she did a collab, she was paid, and she was supposed to give you a portion, but she left instead of giving it to you.
Basically, I mean, we have a long-standing relationship, me and Diamond, and like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have seen it coming, to be honest. I think there was a degree of jealousy there with me hooking up with different girls and not her. You know, when she's not lying when she says that we never fuck, because we never fuck. I told her on New Year's Eve, I told her and Christina, y'all the two bitches I love the most that I don't fuck, other than my mom and my sister.
Because it's a fucking business relationship. That's how it should be.
And then Diamond, is that true that you did a collab and you ran off with some money, or no?
I can show you literally the month of money that I made. The reason why I left is because his ex.
So you did leave.
His ex, yes, I did leave. His ex that was running my account. Had just broken. They had broken up. She moved back to Chicago. He gave my account to Jamie, who was managing my account, who knows nothing about OnlyFans, who was running my account into the ground. He wasn't messaging. I had contacted them for a week saying like, yo, why isn't my account being messaged on? Why isn't my account? I wouldn't just leave them if it wasn't shit. I literally asked them to lower my percentage.
Hold on one sec, Lex. Hold on one sec, Lex. I just want to get her side real fast. Go ahead. So you're saying they weren't messaging?
They weren't messaging. They weren't doing shit on my account. I can show you the month that I left. I can show you the dates. I have numbers, bro. Like I wouldn't just leave them.
So I understand that. So he left. You did leave. But my question is this. Did you leave after a collab that had made you some money? That's the question, not why you left. I'm asking, did you leave?
A week after, and I never made any money off that collab. You can see how much money I made off that collab. It didn't give me shit because people don't care about white dick. They want to see me get down by BBC. They don't want to buy white dick shit. I didn't make shit off that collab.
Okay, all right.
I'm being honest with you. I didn't make shit off that collab.
So you did a collab and you didn't make any money off of it. Lex, is that true? She's saying that she didn't make any money and she left, and because you guys weren't messaging.
I actually don't know what she ended up making on the video because she locked us out of the account. And then the second part is, you know, she was running it herself versus us with a 24/7 sales team with a 3 to 5 minute response time. Now she's there trying to message back in between fucking, I don't know, smoking weed and getting drunk, going out, wasting her fucking life away. Nobody's messaging on that account. Nobody's taking care of it. The game in OnlyFans is who has messaging. They who have the best messaging make the most money.
Little do you know that I work with Creators Inc. Little do you know that I work with Creators Inc.
He let you speak.
She knows this.
Andy
we supported a lot of big agencies with very high dollar creators with our messaging. And then get this, the reason she stopped making money or her money went down was because she stopped doing content. She missed 5 live performances in a row, 5 live streams in a row. You don't think that's going to piss
Lex,
off fans?
you promised me that I wouldn't have to do any lives being signed to you.
Custom requests from her best customers that she didn't fulfill. So of course she's down on her bread because she stopped working. If you and me stop working, we ain't gonna. Well, I don't know. I could stop working and still make money, and I'm sure you could too if you're rosing. But hypothetically, we are at least not gonna scale if we fucking stop working.
Yeah.
And therefore, she didn't scale at all. But still, she showed you. Oh yeah, my money went down, but it's still like 25 grand consistent because that was us.
Okay, question for you, because she's saying that she did the collab, she didn't make any money off of it. You're saying she did the collab and she made money, she ran away.
Listen, everybody comes on your show and doesn't want to tell you really how OnlyFans work. But I'm here to tell everybody how this shit works because that's how we make our money.
Okay.
Our money is made by us providing messaging and messaging all the subscribers as though we were them. Now, we have the best SOPs. We have AI modeling on the creator's voice. We have 3 to 5 minute response.
Question for you, bro. Question.
We have sales
question,
Lex. Sales team, so that's why
Lex, shut the fuck up.
Hold on, Lex. I got a question for you. So, real quick. So, so you're saying she did a collab, but I guess you guys maybe sponsored or whatever, and then.
No, I got it for myself.
Okay, you got it for yourself, but she ran off with whatever money that was supposed to be made from that collab, and you guys didn't see a sense of it. So that's what you're trying to get that money back from. Is that what I'm guessing?
Man, I don't even really care about that money in the long run. What I care about is loyalty, man.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, it's a small thing to a giant to me. That was my fucking bar tab this month.
Okay.
If that.
So what does she owe you $20K for specifically then?
What's that?
What does she owe you $20K for specifically then?
For the OnlyFans, she's got 14 months remaining on her contract.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
She's I made Diamond's whole career. She won't
No,
even
you
deny it.
did
Tell her lie.
not.
Tell her lie.
Christina Santa
Go ahead, lie
did.
on it,
Stop
Diamond.
taking
Tell her
credit
to
for
make the
that.
whole career.
Christina Santa made me my
tell her
connections.
you
Christina
would be where you are
Santa
without me,
made me the person that I
Let him
am.
finish,
You
and then
didn't
we'll
do
let you.
shit,
Let
bro.
him finish real fast. You said you got her all the connections. What else, Lex? Sorry, and then I'll turn it to her.
Everything. Not only connections, I've housed Diamond. I've housed Diamond before even October. I've housed Diamond when she was broke and couldn't pay rent. I've let her live at our mansion in Las Vegas.
It wasn't a mansion. It was a fucking Airbnb with 3 bedrooms. And I had to share a bedroom with another fucking girl, bro. I had to share a bedroom with another girl.
Okay.
So
I
shut the fuck up.
Myron,
All right. You have anything you want to respond to that before I move on?
Case
Here,
closed.
Diamond.
Can we just close the conversation with
Nothing to
this
say.
stupid ass
Case closed.
motherfucker?
Yo,
All right.
in the chat,
Yeah,
hashtag
case closed. Hang up on him.
Lex wins.
All right, cool.
Just
Yeah, let him win. Lex wins.
He's the winner. Case
Yo,
closed.
wait.
CSI
Can I
Miami.
say something to him before you hang up?
Sure.
Double agent Myron.
What do you want to say to him?
Lex,
Sure.
I have nothing against you,
I'll come
bro.
on and tell you guys the whole
Wait.
story.
Let me fucking talk. Okay?
We'll give Lex the last
I
word. Go
have
ahead. Say-
nothing
say-
against you, okay? I'm just done with you. I'm moving forward with my life, and you have no control over it anymore. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry you feel the way you feel, and I'm sorry that you think that I did what I did was revengeful and that I was jealous, but it wasn't. It was because my money was being hurt, and the team that we had, that we moved here with, was fucking collapsed apart. Lexa, Walker left. It just wasn't the same. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't say it. I'm not gonna stay with the team that isn't doing me a favor. Why the fuck should I do it a favor?
Things than you ever
Refault's law.
did with all of our deals.
I'm
right
not
now.
saying you didn't, bro, but I'm saying that you can't take credit
just
for.
like most bitches, and you ain't got no fucking motivation. You ain't got no
Right, and that's
loyalty, you ain't got
the
no
reason why
grind.
I'm the
You
one in
want
front of the
fast
camera and
today,
you're
that's
not. You're
why
in your
you are
fucking
where you
hotel
are. I
room
am
getting
not.
your dick sucked off by Jamie.
That's
So
why I
bye.
look out in a $4 million condo where you living right
Bitch,
now.
you
You're at
literally
home.
live in not even it was a $20,000 condo that you're renting from a fucking football player that isn't even yours. So shut the fuck up.
All right, so Lex Luthered.
Wait,
have
which
Lex put on
which
the
football
panel list
player?
and check
All
on
right.
live on air.
Very.
I'll tell you.
All right.
Hold on.
All right,
Crystal,
switching
tell you-
gears.
Hold
on.
They are unhinged.
Why not hitch your
Here we go.
feel like it's worth the game of mating and dating? Best move that can be made, and your best bet of winning is just to make a sequence of better moves over a long enough timeline. Doesn't guarantee a victory, but generally, yeah, people can win no matter what the game is. The game continuously evolves. The game of mating and dating. It will never be fixed once and for all. It will continue to change, and people will continue to adapt in order to stay successful and relevant.
Amen to that. By the way, I just want to tell the audience his YouTube channel is fantastic. I've
thanks,
watched
man.
a lot of his videos. Very good stuff.
Very insightful stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
It's good. Solid.
Psych hacks, right? On
That's
YouTube.
it.
Psych hacks. Nick, can you pull it up? Just guys, if you're interested, guys, check out his channel on YouTube. Tons of great stuff there. So, yeah, guys, give him a follow, give him a subscribe. My first question for you: you said that women mate and date for gain, and men try to mate and date for acceptable loss. And I was very curious about that. Can you expand on kind of what you mean by that?
Well, sure. I mean, the mate and date for gain part is just basic hypergamy, which is more the sense of, I think women need to feel like they're going to benefit from a relationship to feel like it's worth the opportunity cost of pursuing that opportunity versus all the other opportunities they may have available to them. It sort of makes sense. I think guys would also mate and date for gain kind of if they could. But because...
So he's pretty much saying, okay, I got a lot to debunk, at least in the first 10 minutes. He's pretty much saying that because men operate in scarcity, they have to deal with what they get. Okay. They don't have a choice. Okay. That's literally what it sounds like. Even though men are gatekeepers of relationships, I know they're not. Rolo knows they're not. Okay. Then he's saying, he's framing it kind of weird to say that women have no reason to be there if they don't get benefit. Women don't have a reason to be in a relationship if they get treated poorly. Okay. If they get treated poorly, they leave.
A lot of that takes place in the 20s where women's sexual marketplace value is higher than men's. I think that they are in a privileged position to better dictate terms for a relationship. And I think that if a relationship does not significantly improve a woman's life, especially in today's day and age, she's going to be confident and content in just sort of doing her own thing. If it's just a little bit better or a wash, it's like maybe it's actually a loss to that woman in the long term because of the opportunity cost of foreclosing on that opportunity. Okay? So it's simple economics. If women are mating and dating for gain, then if they're mating and dating with women, with men anyway, men have to sort of resign themselves to acceptable loss. And I think that there is acceptable loss and unacceptable loss. And I think it's for every man to determine for himself where that line is. But as I mentioned before, it's like all men pay to access a relationship with a woman, whether it's for a night or for a lifetime. But the more she likes you, the greater the discount.
And when you say pay, do you mean financially, or do you when you say pay, what do you mean?
So, in general, my approach to the sexual marketplace is in a grossly simplified way that men attempt to trade resources for sexual opportunity and women attempt to exchange their sexual opportunity for resources. Resources, I'm defining in the broadest possible way. It means like anything that isn't sex. So it could be money, but it could also be time. It could also be attention. It could also be emotional validation. It can be instrumental support, somebody who's going to help take the refrigerator up the stairs when it needs to. It could be somebody who's exciting, who can provide emotional stimulation or the alleviation of boredom. Like, resource can mean many different things to many different women, and it will change for the same woman over time. That's what also makes it so difficult to maintain long-term relationships, is that what people want constantly changes.
Gotcha. And you mentioned something about, there's differences when it comes to when men and women reach their peaks sexual value in the sexual marketplace. So I mean, and I think you've said men need to wait to get an advantage in the sexual marketplace. So what does that mean? And then when are the peaks and when does the switch occur?
Sure. So according to one study I read that was revealed preference of men and women on a popular dating app, which included millions of data points in several major US markets. According to men, women were most physically attractive at 23, and according to women, men were most attractive at 50, which is way older than most people think. And
that is incorrect. Incorrect. We'll go over it. I'm going to let him keep going.
That's potentially an artifact of that one study. What it does seem to be is that women's sexual marketplace kind of value, it just sort of decreases as a function of time. Men is more logarithmic. They increase and then they kind of plateau for a while, maybe between 35 and 55, and then it's kind of a slow decline into old age. Go ahead.
Were they evaluating just physical attractiveness? Because
Probably not.
No, they
when I
were.
think of the term sexual marketplace value, like I don't.
It was strictly based on attractiveness.
Men oftentimes look at women and they evaluate their sexual marketplace value based on their youth, their fertility, their physical appearance, so on and so forth. But women don't just take into account, obviously, a man's physical appearance. They also take into account what's his person. This
is the reason why men are so frustrated with dating app studies. It's because women are choosing them based on appearances. I'm going to explain the whole study.
Personality, like, is he funny? What's his earning potential? Is he going to be a provider? And all of that kind of gets factored into.
I mean,
this
it's
concept
true,
of
but not in
sexual
this
marketplace
study.
Value for men, I would say. In terms of women's perception of men, were they just measuring physical attractiveness in this study? For
No, they were measuring swipes.
Okay.
So it presumably plays out the way that you do, is that
that was also incorrect.
Man looked at a woman's profile. He probably mostly looked at her pictures, and so made his selection based on physical attractiveness, which is the primary determinant of sexual marketplace value in women for men.
Okay.
For better or for worse. And women looked at the profile and decided what way to swipe, right? So they took into account the pictures, but also the responses and the context of the pictures. In a grossly simplified way, I often say that men want the Barbie doll and women want all the...
Okay, let's go over the actual study. Because 50 years old for women picking a man is cope. I know we're going to talk about ages. Guys, 50 is the new 40. Okay, 40 is the new whatever. Oh my God, my dog is so annoying right now. In or out, Lo? In or out? to say that women across all ages are picking men in their 50s as the most attractive is probably the biggest cope I've heard. Two things. The way this study worked was that they were both women and men across all ages were shown pictures of the opposite sex around various different ages without them knowing the age. And they would rate how attractive they were. And when they put together the they put it on a graph, okay? And it shows that men across all ages find women who are around 20 to 24 the most attractive. So the crazy part about that was that despite men getting older, their preferences in women or attractiveness stayed the same. However, when they looked at what age group these men of all ages messaged, they were within their age group. Okay, so although they found the younger ones more attractive, they were not messaging those women. Okay, aside from that, when you look at the girls, like the woman side of things, it shows that for the age a woman is, the one she finds the most attractive is relatively within that age range. Okay, so it's not 50. But there's another point I wanted to put on that. Something. Okay, stop. Oh, and as the women hit the age of, what was it? So although it would be a couple years older, the older a woman got, it went backwards. Okay, we don't talk about this shit. But it's true. I have it. Come on, baby. No, okay. I know. Okay, reading from the top, we see that 20 and 21-year-old women prefer 23-year-old guys, and 22-year-old women like men who are 24, and so down through the years, women at 50 to women at 50. We see low, baby. We're okay. We're going to be okay. Years to women at 50 who we see rate 46-year-olds the highest. Okay, so the 50-year-olds are saying that. The data is built from tens of millions of preferences expressed in the online act of finding a date. A woman wants a guy to be roughly as old as she is. Pick an age on the left under 40 and the number beside it's very close. This particular line brings out two transitions which coincide with big birthdays. The first pivotal point is at 30, where the trend of numbers on the right, the ages of men, crosses below the line and never to cross back. This is the data's way of saying that until 30 years old, a woman prefers slightly older guys. Afterwards, she likes them slightly younger. Then at 40, the progression breaks free of the diagonal, going practically straight down for 9 years. Okay. That is from Datacalism, the OkCupid stats. Datacalism's a book where the co-founder, the founder, what was his name? Something Christian, took the statistical data from like the analytics of the OkCupid and laid it out in a book for you. It's often cited in red pill spaces incorrectly, except for like me, Rolo, and Ryan.
Stuff the Ken doll comes with. And so if in a dating profile in 6 pictures or even better on Instagram, if you can create a photo narrative that's sort of a curated people into your life that a woman could potentially look at and say, oh, this is what the Orion doll comes with, or this is what the Chase doll comes with.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make their determination and be like, what does it feel, what might it feel like to be in that life next to
Women have a more biological reason, older women have more of a biological reason to date younger men. A man's sexual peak is between the ages of 18 and 20. A woman's sexual peak is around late 20s, 29, arguably. No, it's like 27 to 35. Okay. This is when women's desire, libido is at its highest because our hormones spike significantly. This is also when women have like what we call our second puberty. Yeah. Just don't get talked about because fuck us, right? But a man who is older, his sexual peak, it was in his early 20s. So he doesn't really have a biological reason to like younger women. I'm all for age gaps, baby. I'm just saying. Older women and younger men are going to be a dynamic that I think is going to be really healthy when they're of age, okay? And I think that will take the stigma off of the older men and the younger women. I just wanted to put that out there.
To that man.
Right.
And that's kind of the fantasy that tends to motivate initial responsiveness in the sexual marketplace.
Right. And that age range of 50 years old, has that same data been replicated in any other studies that you know of?
It's usually not as old as 50. 50 is probably the oldest one that I've seen, but it's actually been younger for women and younger for men. So I've seen studies where it's 21 for women and maybe 38 for men.
But it's generally above like 35.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
For sure. I mean, the average age of the sexiest man alive, I think, is 42.
We're coping. Okay, listen. I love my older men. I've always been in significantly larger age gap relationships, like longer, more than 6, 7, 8, or 9 years. I don't know. When they're pulling from the sexiest man alive, you're pulling from arguably the most attractive men there are. I know sometimes when we watch celebrities, we have like our favorites that we think are the most attractive. But to be in Hollywood, you have to be arguably really conventionally attractive. So although like we can say this is the sexiest man alive, you guys have to remember, Brad Pitt has a wig, okay? People are getting Botox, which I'm all for it, you know? Nobody cares. Okay, you want to get it. I support it. There's a lot more plastic surgery, facelifts, spray tans that goes into it that it is what it is, okay? Men's most attractive age, according to the stats, was at 30 when the trend numbers 30. Okay. 30. Now, does this mean that all men are hideous after 30? If you're somebody that thinks the wall is this line where women get somewhat uglier, then yeah. But no, okay? People age based on their health. Do they wear SPF? Do they have a healthy diet? If you're like, fuck, I'm old and I'm worried about being old, what can I do? I wish I could go back. If you work out, it changes the face fat on your face to the point where like you will literally age backwards. It's our only thing we have in this life that is a miracle. Okay. Yes, you're healthy and shit, but like if I can work out and get rid of like man boobs, fuck yeah. Okay. You can age backwards with working out. Aside from that, men lose their hair. I know. Okay. Just majority. I actually don't know if it's majority. I've heard different numbers. I've heard 50% will lose it around 30. So like men will have already lost it by 30. Does this mean like bald men can't be attractive? No, it's just saying that like some of the conventionally attractive stuff that you see on celebrities, you don't fall there. I dated a guy that was bald. He had a really long beard. Okay. So there's ways around it. Okay. You might grow hair elsewhere. But I find that when I hear psychologists misinterpret data, I find that this will be less beneficial to you. Understanding the truth, even though it hurts, like lets you make a better informed decision. I think it's a big cope when they say that men peak at like 52 or whatever it is, because that's when they get their money up. I'm not saying a 52-year-old can't be sexy as fuck, but I'm also creepy. I'm also creepy with love. Okay. But like, know that although women prefer other things when it comes to long-term relationships, you want to be attractive to each other. So I say, don't get married until you're 33. Okay. Just don't do it. The average age of first marriage for men is 29 to 30. Okay. You're not going to hit a peak to know your options until like 35. Some people say it's older, but if you get to the point where you're like, I'm decent, kind of, I would get married at that age. If you want marriage. I also say don't get married, but like I'm assuming more people want to get married. That's what I would do. But okay, since it takes a few years, arguably, to get to the point of more attractiveness in terms of money and status, your options, your pool of women opens up. And so what they say is that men who kind of freak out and settle with a woman at 29, 30 do themselves they're at a big disadvantage, because a lot of times the woman is in the more powerful, leveraged position. I don't think anybody should have power in that sort of dynamic, especially if you want to enjoy fucking your husband. You probably want to respect him a little bit. You're not going to respect him if he's below. Sorry, I feel like I'm speaking so fucking fast. But yeah, so you'll want to wait a little bit. Obviously, stats are stats. Okay. They're shit. My parents and my life is always the outlier in terms of stats. So you don't have to like take it to heart. Okay. If you know you want to have kids, I would not wait until past. Like if you're gonna, I feel like men do such a disadvantage to their offspring when they choose to have children mid 40s, early 50s. It's not that it's not doable, but for all the men that complain about how short they are, one of the biggest things that happens to old sperm, okay, it's considered old, geriatric sperm. Let's call it what it is, okay? We might have geriatric pregnancies at 35, but y'all have geriatric sperm at 40, okay? Equal opportunity. Anyways, for all the men that care about being so short and, oh, what could I do? Let me tell you one thing. If you have children after the age of, 40, if you get pregnant, your chances of dwarfism in your child goes up like significantly. Like you ever see children, you're like, wow, there's midgets with love. Okay, I'm actually not allowed to say that word according to TOS. You can blame that on dad. Yeah, you can blame that one on dad. You can blame... Just kidding. Obviously, you can't draw that correlation. It's just statistically higher. I think men put their children, their offspring, at a really big disadvantage. There's a lot of things like autism, which is not the worst thing, but like mental illness that can happen when the dad's sperm is older. And a lot of things that we think are the woman's problem and her age, it's typically the man. Woman has a miscarriage, it's the man's fault. Because something with the whatever the fuck. Questionable. I'm not a doctor, but do your own research.
Do you know what the age cohorts were that they were taking data from?
No, I don't.
Because the reason why I ask is because when I think of like the mid 20-year-old women that I know, like none of them would look at a 50-year-old and be like, oh yeah, that guy's hot. Like
That's what they always say. Yeah.
Right. You think they're lying?
Maybe they are, maybe they're not. You know, the thing about talking about the sexual marketplace and how men and women behave inside of it is that we can at best sort of make
take biotin and collagen to combat hair loss. While there are no substances that can combat hair loss specifically, there are things out there like Rogaine that help with it. Different percentages. What are there? There's two types. I don't know. Rogaine is really painful. It's really painful. So I understand they don't want to use it. They are seeing some evidence if you have thinning hair that rosemary oil is a better alternative to grow hair. Biotin, unfortunately, we used to think that this was good, but it's actually not. So biotin is not the best supplement for hair like we used to think it was. And actually, there's a lot of dermatologists that talk about why. I think it's something that it might make it look shinier, but it's not actually thickening their hair. There are supplements, though, that actually do work on hair thinning. And it is, what is it called? I'll look it up. I'll know it when I see it.
Observations.
But if taking biotin has helped with your hair, use it. I'm just saying, like, on the data.
Any statistical observation on the population level will be disproved at the individual level.
Right.
So you could say that women generally respond better to men who are taller and higher status and older. And you'll always have a woman who might say, well, that doesn't work for me. I don't care anything about those things, as if that doesn't validate the population level observation.
Right.
But it is true. It's like on an individual level, it's anybody's guess. And I talk about that in my forthcoming book, is that perceived sexual marketplace value, because you don't actually transact with an abstraction. You can't get into a relationship with women. You can't get into a relationship with men. You get into a relationship with a specific man and a specific woman. And people can and do deviate significantly from, let's say, the cultural expectations and the norms for what the society finds attractive.
Right, that makes sense. It's interesting. The more that I think about the data from that study that you just referenced, like initially I'm like, man, I don't know any 20-year-old, 25-year-old women that are looking at 50-year-old guys and they're like, oh, hell yeah. But when I was in high school and my dad was in his...
I remember what I was thinking of. I can't remember the supplement, but I remember the supplement that I am thinking of is strictly for women because hormones play a factor into women's hair growth and men's, but the supplement I was even thinking of wouldn't apply to men.
Like mid-40s, drove a pretty decent car. He was fit. All of these girls in my high school were like, Chase, your dad is so hot. Like, what's his number? And I'm looking back at that. I'm like, yo, there might be something to it.
Part of it, and this is one of the things that I talk about in my book, is that women in their early 20s aren't around men in their 50s. Certainly not around single men that they might actually have relationships with. They're around guys who are around their age and maybe a little bit older. That's why in high school, the women that you wanted dated the guys in college. And when they were in college, they dated the guys who already graduated and have their own place. So most people generally associate with people around their own age until they launch into real life.
Right.
And then their cohort kind of becomes their workplace.
Right.
And they start to lose, not that they fall out, but they kind of drift away from their high school and college friends, just in the busyness of life.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the main reasons is that women just are, it's like what Hannibal Lecter said in Silence of the Lambs, people covet what they see every day. And if women are around other 23-year-old guys, they're going to covet the most attractive one that they can see.
Right.
But if they're exposed to a wider cohort of more successful men who might actually be in a position to extend them the lifestyle and the commitment that they're looking for, that might actually be in their best service.
Right.
And women used to have access to that when actually their fathers were more involved in the process.
Do you think, though, when...
This is a misconception. In college, they're dating the guys in Dubai who messaged their thirst traps. No, they're not. Okay, we're crying because of not being able to figure out what we should do for the rest of our lives. Pretty much. The girls that get messaged on Dubai are we need a word for them. Strippers plus.
When it comes to sort of an equalization of the advantage in the sexual marketplace, because I mean, it seems to me that if we're comparing, let's say, like for like, say an average woman to an average man, I mean, at least from what I've seen on dating apps, for example, and perhaps we can talk about dating apps in a moment, that even an average woman, and there, there's this term, the wall, right? Women hit the wall. I don't know if there's much truth to that, but it seems like a bit of cope. Like, oh, once they're 35, it's like they're done for.
It's not true.
Yeah, but and it occurs to me that they still, in terms of their sexual optionality, even into, I would argue, their late 30s, early 40s, women can still run circles around men when it comes to their sexual optionality.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, guys, even the playing field, but guys often never get a chance to see that because they commit to a long-term relationship in their late 20s, early 30s before they enjoy that advantageous gap in the sexual marketplace.
Which is right around the time, like you said, when they're kind of getting into their advantageous...
Yeah, generally it switches at 30. 30 is when the average male sexual marketplace value exceeds the average female sexual marketplace value for the very first time. But it doesn't really start to be noticeable until maybe 34, 35.
What's the average age of marriage for men and women? Is it like 30 and 28? Is that
30 and 29 in this country.
Yeah.
So
right
30
as
for men, 29 for women?
Yeah.
Correct. In no culture on the planet is average woman's age at first marriage more than average man's age at first marriage. And it ranks, I just looked up these numbers. It ranges from like less than a year to almost a decade on average in some cultures.
Do you guys know how those ages have gone up over time? Like, do you know what it was like 50 years ago?
The gap in the United States has stayed mostly, it's narrowed a little bit. I think maybe 50 years ago it was maybe 2 or 3 years, and now it's maybe 1 or 2.
But do you know what ages?
Oh, it's definitely gone up. And it was 1970 that saw the big spike in ages. The average age at 1970 at marriage was like 22, 24.
Oh,
now
wow.
It's at 29, 30.
Interesting.
I don't think it'll go much higher than that.
You don't think so?
No.
Why?
Because it wouldn't be in women's best interest for it to go higher than that. So you have to understand that the reason why the data looks this way is because it makes a lot of sense for women to secure a lifetime or a long-term commitment from a man at the last moment that they enjoy. And
this bothers me. Is my audio still okay? If it's not, just spam my chat with 2s. Okay. I thought I saw somebody say something. It really bothers me that you hear men, even psychologists, respectfully, say that women wait until their late 20s, early 30s to settle with a guy slowly because their looks are decaying and they won't have sexual capital. It's kind of delusional at this point. Women have an epiphany for sure around 25, arguably, when their prefrontal cortex or whatever finalizes. And it's, I'm running out of time to have a baby and have a family that I have to find somebody. So they find somebody that treats them well. Okay? You can't say that women are picking the best chads and then also say that they're marrying betas. Okay? Pick one. Thank you for the super chat. Keep your girl off OnlyFans one chat at a time. If a man is in his 20s, is unattractive, odds are he won't age like fine wine. Yeah. I will say, though, as a former nerd, the nerds in high school, my mom always said, don't be mean to them because they get hotter. They did get hotter in high school.
relative advantage in the sexual marketplace. Like, why not hitch your ride to a rising star?
Also, did he make the claim yet that there's no country or region where women are at? No, he's going to. Okay.
You know, everybody plays blackjack. Women hit the wall. Yeah, men also hit the wall too. The wall is a little bit different. It's not in the sense purely of your physical attractiveness like it generally is for women. But everybody is like, you know, this is good. The next card could improve my position, but it might also cause me to go bust. I don't want to get too greedy. Maybe I'll stand here. And
the man's wall is either when he loses his hair, okay, he gets fat because he's no longer high school hot. Okay, these are your guys that peak in high school. And then the men where at work, the new guys are coming in and he's no longer the guy you go to. If anything, he's kind of like the older guy that's saying crazy shit. He's kind of unhinged, like that sort of thing. Which is like really sad in my opinion. The new guys are coming in and they no longer need the older guys. So he's losing forms of status. That's when men hit the wall. All those three. Those are what I have come up with. Well, the first two are. The third one I've heard in old red pill blogs. I just don't remember who said it.
It's actually in women's best interest to stand at the last moment that they enjoyed that event.
But like, men are born at the wall. Okay. Men are born at the wall because they have to create their value, and some don't make it over the wall. They just fall into the wall again. If that makes sense. So like a lot of guys won't even hit their stride. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try, but it means to be practical. If you're already at the age of 30, no, let's say 35, you're not that good looking maybe, but you have a decent career, your chances of finding somebody that you've idealized as hot, you're running out of time. You're running out of time. We can say that older men like younger women, but the only state where people are really having 10-year age gaps is Hawaii. And Hawaii is also the region in which there's more women marrying at older ages than men. Okay. He's going to say something against that, but that's the truth.
They can dictate more beneficial terms for themselves, for the relationship, and the man doesn't yet really enjoy and subjectively know what it might be like to have abundant sexual optionality, to have women pursuing him, to have relationships on his terms.
How do men hit the wall?
Generally, men hit the wall when they have a mortality scare. Maybe someone close to them dies, or maybe they get diagnosed with some sort of serious illness, and they think, what if no one's around when the end comes? What if I can't just chase heedless?
It's crazy because women think about this all the time. It's like, wow, it has to happen to men once in order for them to wake up. Love you.
Hedonistic pleasure. Maybe I need somebody to tie my fortunes to on a deep and significant way. I think that's generally what wakes guys up.
So like people say that the wall happens for women at 30. Where would you estimate the wall happens for men on average?
I did a consultation with a guy yesterday. He was in his late 60s, and he's deciding that, hey, I'm in my end game now. He's never been married.
Was he just playing the field the whole time?
He was. He seems to have done very well for himself. He has a very high net worth. He has houses in different countries around the world. He, in his own words, has been cleaning up and enjoying his life. He's a successful professional and a musician. But now in his late 60s, he's thinking, will I just do this forever? Maybe I need somebody to care for me. Right. And he's looking to get married now.
Gotcha.
I think that's the...
So I find that problematic for a couple reasons. As somebody who caretakes for my mother who has dementia, I think something that often goes doesn't get looked at enough, especially in age gap. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. I just got a text and I was like, whoa. And that's that when men finally want to settle down and they're 60. I mean, my mom developed dementia at 60. Okay, so it's like you're looking for someone to care for you because you don't want to go to a nursing home. Trade-offs. Okay, you want to be a bachelor? Fuck yeah, do it, but don't expect somebody to want to do that. It's not that it couldn't happen. It's just that like 85% of people will develop dementia, you know? And I think it's so wrong, especially knowing men have a preference for younger. It's so wrong and immoral in my eyes to be at 60 and then go and marry a woman in her 30s. Like, granted, she has agency. It's just nobody tells her the truth. I'm just kidding. You'll probably find somebody who's probably already divorced and awesome, right? I feel like we don't talk about this, but older people always meet really compatible older people when they get married. I've seen it on TV, okay?
Extreme example.
And in real life. Actually, I managed to, my boyfriend's mom, love her. You know who you are. She was divorced and single. She was so hot. So banging, okay? Banging. She was single and she went out with this guy. And I remember being like, you're going to marry that guy. Very well off, very nice guy, had children already, beautiful home, mansion. Okay. 20 out of 10. They ended up getting married, I think 4 years later, something like that. And they're the best couple I've ever met in my life. Literally the best couple. Very outgoing, very outgoing. What do you call it? The guy, I think, is like a real estate investor, multiple properties. They go to parties together to network, charity events. I mean, it's great. So what I'm saying is that when did she get married? 50 maybe? I don't know. I never knew her age because she was banging. Like literally. I think they were in their 50s and literally like a 50 is the new 40. Okay. That's what a lot of times when people's career really takes off. Like you're reaping in the benefits of it, I guess.
For men.
Yeah, that's pretty late. That's a long time men have before they hit the wall, but it makes sense.
He can still have kids though.
No.
Right?
He can.
Yeah, he's good.
I think
he's good.
Men are delusional. They're honestly delusional. What was the name of the guy that had a child at 80? It's so harmful. Like, you need to give a fuck about your health. I know you guys don't really give a fuck about it, and you don't really give a fuck about your partner's health. But let me just remind you that women, if they have a boy, will adopt some of the DNA, okay? It gets left over and we have to deal with it, okay? And that could be anything from your curly hair that you've had your whole life to your new diabetes diagnosis, okay? It's serious. I know you don't, like, you only care about yourself, but this is a moment where you shouldn't. Don't have kids, okay? Adopt or don't have any. But, like, it's so irresponsible on so many regards. That would actually be a really fun debate topic. Is that immoral? Like, assuming that, but at the same time, is it eugenics? I don't know.
Did Al Pacino just have another child? In
he's
his
got
late 80s?
time.
Yeah, who was that
That's
rocker
sick.
that did too, like a year or two ago? Was it Keith Richards?
Who's
someone?
Maybe.
Who's the?
I don't know.
He's still kicking.
I have a question. So you, before the show, we were talking about your practice.
Sure.
And for anybody unaware, Dr. Orion Terabin, as a psychologist and a therapist, you've worked with thousands of clients, right?
Yes.
So I asked my Instagram and Twitter audiences if they had any questions for you.
Great.
And one of the top questions was, what are the most important qualities that, it could be sex specific, men or women, or both sexes, what are the most important qualities people should look for in a long-term relational partner?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it's a little bit different depending on if you're a man or a woman.
How am
One
I
of the things
projecting if I don't have fucking kids? What?
I tell guys, like, the thing that the best woman that they could possibly get in the sexual marketplace, in my opinion, is a useful 8.
So tell us what that means.
Ladies,
Well, if we're
listen to the language that they're using. Okay, we're both on men and women's side, and he said, "Find a useful 8." Men be walking around acting like they aren't using women. Okay, they're not trying to get some benefit out of women. They just say that women are doing it. Okay, women won't. Briffault's law. Okay, if there's no benefit that she can derive from it, then she will no longer be there. Okay, he just said find an 8 that is useful. Find somebody who treats you well that you can get a boner for. Love you.
going to be using the metric for sexual marketplace value. I don't know if you've ever dated women that you would consider 9s and 10s based on your own subjective perception of attractiveness.
Wait, is this like the crazy hot matrix?
It kind of is.
Like they're just, yeah.
Well, some of them are absolutely nutty in a handful. Yeah. Because they've also been created that way. A lot of these very beautiful young women were beautiful precociously, like from a very young age. They started to realize that they could command male attention using their bodies or their sensuality.
Women do not realize that they have sexual prowess over men. We are taught that men and women are the same. Okay. They might be like, oh, some men find me attractive, maybe later, but like, even if you're attractive when you're younger, we don't think that way. Okay. We're insecure. Like, men have this fucking idea. This is why it blows my mind. Never mind. I won't even go there, but it blows a Freudian slip. Just kidding. Like, women are not walking around like, I have sexual power over men. It's just not happening. I'm sorry.
And that was a power that they became aware of before they even really understood how to utilize it or to handle it. But because they became aware of that power at such an early age, a lot of them didn't develop other parts of their personality.
I am so surprised that this is coming out of a psychologist. Okay. That's wild to me. That is like I know there's that saying that like the hotter the girl, the meaner she is, and there's a case for it. If she's a narcissist, she just gets worse as she gets older and uglier, like, for sure. But the kindest people I know, like the most soft-spoken, kindest, charities, like does all these amazing things, are the hottest women. And there's this like stereotype that the hotter the woman, the meaner she is, dumber she is. And like, it makes you wonder, like, do men conflate beautiful and hot? Is hot just a nice body? It's like, okay, so to y'all, she's skinny, therefore she has a shitty personality. It's really delusional. I don't know. I've known people who were ugly ducklings that got hotter in their adulthood. They're amazing. I've known people who were conventionally attractive models that are older models, and they're amazing. I will say there is a group that isn't, and I would argue that they were fat in their teen years, fatter in their child development years, and then they get hot at 20. I'm just a bartender, okay, for 11 years. Thank you for the super chat. Keep your girl off OnlyFans one shit at a time. I just want a guy who is attractive and will treat me well and get me a 3-carat ring. I've yet to find a guy who has the looks and character. How much is 3 carats? I think 3 carats is the nice size. I don't know. I never wear jewelry. But I just want a guy who's attractive and will treat me well. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I think men see us as like trying to gain resources from this men. And we just want someone who's nice to us, honestly. Like when you see a hot girl who's with an uglier guy, guys will be like, oh, she's only with him for the money. No, he treats her better. Like, why can't we have agency? Grow up. But where do you find around 5K? Oh, god damn. Okay. I guess that's not unreasonable. I don't know. I've heard some crazy amounts. I think you can find attractive men at, if you really want to know, as a bartender, country clubs. Just got to make sure he's not married already. Okay. Be careful. Country clubs, horse race tracks, betting on trifecta, that sort of thing. Those are nice men who are rich. Just kidding, I'm kidding. But they're all attractive, okay? I don't, most guys are honestly like conventionally attractive, okay? There's some that have weight issues, some that don't know how to bathe, and that docks them low, but like you hardly see hideous men. Maybe on apps, but not really in real life, okay? You don't. But I feel like the most attractive men that I saw were at the country clubs, golf courses, that sort of thing.
So common. I've seen that so many times.
They've tipped me hundreds of dollars without saying one fucking word or ordering a drink. They're just like into the tip jar, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Thanks, Dad.
But I can understand where they were coming from. Being a beautiful woman is like being a billionaire's scion. It's like the rules don't really apply to you. You have such a distorted view of what everyday life is and what normal people go through. You can't possibly, sympathize or associate on some level, right?
This is the pattern that I've noticed here in the area. There's a lot of really attractive chicks that are dumb as rocks and have nothing interesting to say. And there's a lot of really interesting girls that aren't as beautiful.
Think about it. Why did I have to cultivate my intelligence? Because I
it's ironic because women, like, this is just such a, I'm sorry, scratch that, stereotype. What's probably going on is they probably rejected them. Keeping it 100. That's what I've gathered at the bars and nightclubs. Like, they find them so attractive, but they have to ding them on something because they rejected them. Okay. It's the women that don't reject them that they say are so funny and so intelligent. Prove me wrong.
I thought that it was a way to make a living and to get money and to secure my place in the world.
Right. You have to provide value.
But if I could get money and secure my place in the world without the hard work of cultivating my intelligence and building my practice, or why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
That might be a temptation that I might not have been able to resist either.
It's the path of least resistance.
It is. Everything that we're doing is to get what we want. And if you're offered what you want on a silver platter from a very early age, you're not going to work to get it like everybody else does. That doesn't make those people bad people. The people who had to work for those things, absolutely, the vast majority of them would act exactly like the really rich or really attractive people.
Right.
But they just didn't have the option.
Right.
They could either like cry and mope about, or they could do something about it.
Right. So to go back to this concept of a useful 8, what does it mean for a woman to be a useful 8? Obviously 8, she's not a 10 out of 10, so to speak. But
yeah, so she's developed.
Most women are average. Most people are average. And I think like even when we see things like Instagram and social media, we have this like distorted perception that there's a lot more attractive people than there are. But I think somebody did the math on it. I'm skewing numbers, but I know there were 5 zeros. Yeah. And it was like, there's an attractive person, 1 in 100,000, something like that. So most people are average. The people that are 8s, 9s, 10s probably got modeling contracts, acting things going on, worked in the entertainment industry as like a kid. But it's not the norm.
Her personality, usually. Even better if she's an ugly duckling, as I talk about on my channel. So women definitely bloom at different ages, And I know women absolutely who are more attractive in their early 30s than they were in their early 20s. That It happens. Sometimes women, they only start to understand, they start to take care of their appearance, they start to dress better, they start to work out, they start to have a cognizance of the sexual marketplace. For whatever reason, they weren't just focused on those things, which actually makes them kind of sweet and almost naive in a way.
Yeah.
Yes, finally, someone says it. The most feminine women, and I think that's what they're referring to, are like early 30s.
Which makes them kind of good faith actors in the marketplace because they're not as, you could say cynical, or you could also say worldly. So an ugly duckling who's an 8 is by far, she's going to be attractive enough for you. Like, she's going to be able to maintain your sexual interest. You don't need more than that. And useful. So you like to have a woman in your life that actually makes your life better, that contributes value, that you look forward to spending time with. Another thing I say, someone once asked me about a woman I was dating who I really liked. And they said, well, what about that girl? What do you think about her? And I said, you know what? She's inoffensive. And that was like the highest praise I could give that woman. I have dated.
Where is she now?
Many different women in my life, and the ones that I've had the longest relationships with were not the hottest, were not the smartest,
Where are they now?
The most savvy with respect to relationships. They were not the most like domesticated, whatever that means. It was the women who were the most inoffensive. They were so easy to get along with.
Most guys don't have a perfect bone structure like Jason Statham, Brad Pitt, Zac Efron. Okay, first of all, Zac Efron paid for his. I don't know who Jason is. Brad Pitt has gotten filler. Arguably everybody can have good bone structure if they get braces. You can fix a lot of issues. Okay. Finance them if you can't. Teeth are so important for your health too. Breathing and shit, but like, don't be confused that these people don't have work done. Shit, I would love bone structure like Matt Rife. Maybe I could find out who his surgeon is.
They didn't cause any problems. They didn't create any disrespect. They actually cared, and even better, worked and made an effort to make
Where
my
are they
life
now? But where is she now? See, this is how I know men like drama. I'm just kidding.
better and to further the goals that I was working towards, both for myself and for the relationship.
Mm-hmm. They brought you peace?
I already had peace. It's so much easier to attract a woman who isn't going to disrupt your peace if you have peace already yourself. If you're looking for peace from a woman, you don't have it yet.
I don't know if I mean it in that sense where, as in perhaps your life is chaotic, but by introducing her, she's brought peace to your life. But perhaps what I mean there is she's bringing you peace.
I haven't had a McDonald's French fry in over 6 years. Not worth it. Not worth it.
Peace by not introducing chaos into your life, because with so many relationships, it can certainly, a lot of them can introduce quite a bit of chaos.
It's certainly true. I was doing a consultation with a woman the other day who was in her late 30s, and she wanted to find a husband. Almost all the consultations I do with women these days are about how to get a husband. And she was contrite. She admitted that she had drank some of the ideological Kool-Aid for a long time, and she's waking up to the fact that that caused her to behave in certain ways that were counterproductive to her ultimate relationship goals. And she's trying to disabuse herself of a lot of that ideology, right?
Is that a really polite way of saying that she was promiscuous throughout her 20s?
No,
or?
I think it was more a polite way of saying that she was a proud
feminist
and progressive.
Can you believe this psychologist is saying this right now? I don't believe you. Sorry.
Yes, we love calling out the proud feminism. It is not an attractive quality.
And she was swearing up and down. She's like, found my your content is so helpful, Orion. I'm trying to be very respectful for men. I'm trying to be submissive and obedient. And
Bitch, if you ever watch my channel, you're the fucking value. Act right. Act right. Men do not want to value things that are so desperate for them. That doesn't mean that you don't obey them in a relationship or whatever. Do you want a woman that's submissive to any man? Because let me fucking tell you, a woman who submits to you right away like that is doing it to everybody. Okay? Ladies, only submit to valuable men. Jesus.
I just stopped her and I was like, look, all that sounds real good. Like, okay.
Let me tell you
but
something.
You actually don't.
Men will say what they want. Like, they're equivalent to being delusional. They coach women, or they say, this is what men want. And it's equivalent to us thinking that men want college-educated women. They're like, men want peace, men want feminine, and men want, what else do they say? Fit, feminine, and friendly. The fit one, probably true, okay? Most people want fit people. Nobody would ever want fat. Well, actually, the body type that men go for is on the heavier side. But men love attention, if it's good or bad, okay? So men can provoke you. They don't want to admit to it. They get mad about it in the comments, but they will provoke you. Things like, I didn't know you wanted me to take out the garbage now, in order to get a rise out of you. So men love drama, okay? We want to fit, feminine, and friendly. No, they don't. They want a woman who's like feisty a little bit. Don't think so? Okay. Every woman I know, tradcon or whatever, has like feist in her. She's masculine at work. She can be feminine when she gets home and all that shit, but like a woman who gets kind of jealous sometimes. I don't like a woman that doesn't get jealous, and if they say anything other than that, they're lying to you.
You don't need to be respectful or obedient or subservient to men. Just don't be disrespectful. Just don't be disobedient. Just don't
listen to them.
Conflictual. Like, that's enough.
Like, that's what they think they want. That's the politically correct answer. That makes them look so much more humane. Not to say that they're animals, but it's like, that's a politically correct answer. It's equivalent to a woman saying, I want a guy that is like tall, dark, handsome, or has a good job. It's like, yeah, confidence. It's like women saying, I want a confident guy. It's like, okay. Don't listen to this.
You don't have to go out of you don't have to put a guy on a pedestal and pretend that he's some new god and just cater to his ego.
Does it help? Does that help, though?
It can. Like,
if you don't cater to his ego, that translates to not submitting to him all the time. You see, they fucking contradict themselves.
One of the best, it's not good for the men, but one of the best ways a woman can get a man is to cater to his ego.
Yes.
So she stoops to conquer, kind of a thing.
Right.
Laugh at all of his jokes. Men love funny women. Tori, I thought funny women make jokes. No. I feel so safe when I'm with you. What other ones do we use, ladies? Can you open this jar? What things are we taught to say about men so that their ego is pushed? This will blow their mind because they don't know this. They think that we actually do these things without thinking about it. It's like scratching his back in the bedroom.
Oh, you're so strong. I never would have thought of that. It's like, really?
Okay.
So many women play men.
But you're saying so long as there's just the bare minimum of not being disrespectful, that can get a woman really far.
Way
Thank
far.
you.
Yeah. You don't have to necessarily do all of these wonderful, great things. I mean, if you can.
The fact that you think about it is a turnoff. Welcome to the delusion of men. Of women and men. Like, women, like when I say that women will research article after article on how to give you head and what you like, how to make you feel like a man, don't think that I'm not lying to you. So when you hear podcasts say, women are not taught how to treat a man, it's women are laughing behind the scenes because pretty much every interaction we have with you comes from fucking BuzzFeed or Cosmo. It's delusional to think anything other than that. I'm sorry if that like bruises the ego. I'm just telling you the truth. Women put so much effort into figuring out what men like, and men can't even look up an article on how to find the clit.
It helps.
It's great for sure. I'm not
That was a projection.
gonna say no to that, but like the one bad thing that you do is probably more bad than the one good thing that you do. In fact, according to, let's say, John Gottman's research into relationship longevity and which couples break up and which couples divorce, he said that couples need to have at least 5 positive micro interactions for every 1 negative micro interaction. Which one way to think about that is that like a negative interaction is 5 times more negative than a positive interaction is positive.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You're on YouTube. It's sort of like kind of human nature. You might get 99 positive comments, but the one that's not is the one that you tend to remember.
Yeah, you tend to focus. You could get 100 positive messages, but you get a couple nasty ones and you'll...
I think criticism daily will literally breed contempt. If you're ever going to criticize somebody, you got to get really good at making it a you problem. I'm telling y'all. If you can criticize somebody or give constructive feedback without criticizing, like in a bad way, relationships go so far.
You'll pay a little more attention to those then,
And those 1 or 2 things can cancel out
Andrew.
the 99, 98 things that you're doing well. So just don't do the things that mess it up.
I do want to come back to the useful aid thing and then Chase's original question, but really quick, just since we brought up peace, what do you think about Proverbs 21:19? Better to live in the desert than with a quarrelsome and nagging wife.
I actually think it was a corner of the attic.
There's 2.
I think there's different
there's 2 of them?
versions.
I'm sorry.
So there is like...
Why do you ever in the fucking attic?
what is it? Better to live...
Better to live in the desert than with a quarrelsome wife, and better to live on the corner of a house or corner of a roof than with a quarrelsome wife.
That's the one I know.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of guys who live in a corner of their own house. I don't know a lot of guys who live in the desert.
Yeah.
Do you, I mean, on that note, are you helping out men who are in contentious marriages or...
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very difficult to fix. Like, it's so much easier to do the right thing from the beginning than to do the wrong thing for 10, 20 years and then try to do the right thing.
Is there a commonality, a common thread between the situations and how they get fixed? Because I've got some theories on it, but I'm curious from a professional perspective.
Well, I usually target a specific behavior and apply behavioral principles to it. So like bad behavior from a woman is in a relationship is generally co-created. Yes, it's potentially coming from her, but it exists and is being maintained or even rewarded in a dynamic that exists between 2 people. So
Same goes for women in the reverse, but it's a slippier slope. Slippier. I don't know why that word. I hate it here. And ladies, if you fuck him, you reward him. Okay. If he can't make you, stop telling him that he's good in bed.
So one thing that
he'll never get better,
guys, is to become more aware of, let's say, the reinforcement contingencies under which that behavior occurs. A lot of women say things that could be very hurtful to men, not necessarily because they really believe them in their heart of hearts.
Anxious attachment style people, ladies in particular, get your shit together. Okay. I can tell you something in confidence. I don't want it brought up against me later. Okay. Y'all are the ones saying some mean shit. I think women more often than not have an anxious attachment. I don't know. Ask Adam Smith. I'm not sure. I would guess they do. They're the ones that say some mean shit. And guys, you can't take back what you say. I wish people understood this. Be very cautious before you call somebody something, because now you ruined everything to some degree.
But because they work. They work to get that man to do what she wants. And to the extent that the guy backs down or changes his behavior or gives up seeing his friends or his hobbies or whatever it is, it's going to make it easier for that woman to do that thing in the future. And the more that the guy concedes, the more that woman kind of becomes monstrous.
Thank you for the super chat. Keep your girl up. OnlyFans, one shot at a time. Greetings from the Crucible. Hello. I like your style. It's often balanced and more clear and realistic than most of the red pill folks. Me, Ryan, and Rolo. Me, Ryan, and Rolo. I literally took 2 years to read all of the material, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Which isn't good for him, obviously, but it's also not good for her.
You want to fry?
And so when I talk about it this way, it's like, oh, she's not a bad person. It's just almost like the hot young women. They're not bad. It's just life has thrown all of these things at them so fast. They're kind of making maybe short-term but rational decisions about getting those good things into their lives. Okay? Mm-hmm. So one thing I talk about is that it always gets worse before it gets better. So if you start to change a entrenched dynamic, even if changing it would be in the best interest of both parties involved, the person who more directly or immediately benefits from it is going to get pissed. She's going to get very angry. It's kind of like, you have to stay in your lane. This isn't how it works. That's not what I signed up for. And that's called an extinction burst, where you see an intensification.
Let me give you something practical. If you have somebody that literally calls you names at the freak out, you guys need to come up with a safe word. Okay? Pineapple. So the opposite person can say it in a fight. It's the best de-escalation thing I think I've found.
In the behavior that you're actually trying to get rid of. And it's designed to kind of...
Who the flying... Torshaa, I heard Jon Stewart says Chicago deep dish pizza is just a casserole. Is he right or wrong? Tell him to go suck a cock. Oh, fuck.
reinstate the status quo.
Excuse my language.
And that's why I say that guys shouldn't do this lightly, because if they kind of do this casually and they're not prepared for things getting worse, they're just going to make a bigger monster out of the situation. But if you change what you do and you hold the line and you offer a different form of reinforcement, then if you do that maybe 10 times in a row, you might have solved the problem. Maybe not all the way, but it will get better.
Fucker.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Have you read the book Love and Respect?
Mm-mm.
So I was talking to a friend of mine recently about like women and relationships and stuff like that, and he shared with me a quote that his dad had shared with him, and what his dad told him was, at their base level, what men most need in a relationship from a woman is respect. Mm-hmm. And what women most need in a relationship is love.
Ladies, if you struggle with not being an asshole, just adopt something while you're getting better at it. Say yes, sir, after everything he says. This works in the workplace too, let me tell you.
And
former bartender, 11 years, guys. I am telling you, these are things to adopt, okay? Ow.
Most men would rather be respected than loved, and most women would rather be loved than alone, right?
Loved or respected.
You think most women would rather be loved or respected?
Well, you said loved or alone.
Right. Most women would rather be loved than they would prefer to be alone.
Be very cautious before you say that.
His dad said.
What I'm saying is that that's a study. That's a very famous study, a survey study, where they gave a choice to a bunch of men. Would you rather be loved or respected? And gave the same choice.
Oh, there was a study on it?
Men would rather be respected than loved, and women would rather be loved than respected. So maybe it's...
That's because men's entire lives, they're taught that they're unlovable. Of course they don't want to be loved. They cannot make it compute. It doesn't make sense in their framework. Most of the things... Sorry, these are so dry. This is not worth it. A lot of men's obstacles in life to become high value or whatever are different frameworks that they've adopted over the course of their life. And you have to shatter these specific frameworks in order to adopt the ones that actually serve your interest, per se. And love is one of them. Men from a very young age have been taught that love is external, that they're loved because of what they do. Wow, you're just such a great mechanic. They can't even understand what self-love is, okay? Give them both. They will say that they want
Slightly different study?
It might be, but my point being, his dad got that information from a book called Love and Respect, based on the author. He was a Christian author, and he wrote this off of some verses.
Rip to my dog was like, I'm shutting off the audio. Give me the fries. She says.
In Ephesians, the verses, I think it's Ephesians 5, where it says that, women ought to submit to their husbands, which...
And I can prove that men actually want love from women. The reason men value women so much is because men view other men... Bro, we're not doing that. Here you go. Men view other men all day long and putting them in a pecking order. So they're like scanning, literally, could I beat this guy up? Okay. They're at work competing, having to put on like macho, whatever the fuck, because there's all these different, they got to gain respect. Maybe they have it, blah, blah, blah. The reason they love women so much is because it's the soft place to land. Okay. That's love. Okay. That is where either you're nurturing, love is, what's the word? People love by doing things for each other without the expectation of getting something in return.
Speaks to a deep need that men have in relationships to be respected. And also men have to have unwavering love towards their wives and lay down their lives for their wives like Christ laid down his life for the church. And
I'm just telling you what Red Pill says.
I was reading through the book, and it was talking about the negative downward spirals that people can get into in relationships, where like if men feel like they're being disrespected by their woman, oftentimes what they'll do in response is they'll pull back their love a bit, because they'll be like, okay, I don't want to deal with you right now. I'm not going to treat you in the same affectionate, loving way because you're disrespecting me. And that often causes women to then start nagging the man more and more and more because she wants attention from him. And so it's kind of like she's using a negative behavior to try and get what she actually wants. And I've seen this in my own family, like my grandmother, type of woman who could nag a man.
Let me tell you something. If a woman is nagging you, you're not fucking her, right? Okay. If you guys have a good sex life, maybe you've gone through a drought, she nags you and gives a fuck about the little shit when you haven't fucked her, period. Okay. Honestly, like there's something to say, fuck it out of her, okay? Do it.
To death, right? But she does.
It's not socially acceptable, but like ask yourself, is she nicer when she has the big O? Does she care about the cabinets being open, the lights being on?
Because she wants attention.
Damn.
And like when women feel like, as I was saying, when women feel like a man is pulling back their love, like they will push that negative behavior towards them. And the author talked about how to break that downward spiral by, the way he described it, he was like, men need to show women unconditional love. They need to show their wives unconditional love. That can break the negative cycle for women sometimes. And if women show a man unconditional respect, that can break the negative cycle on their end. What do you think about that?
I think I follow you. I'm not a big fan of the word unconditional. Mm-hmm. I think love is and can be unconditional, but I think that relationships are conditional.
This is why I say that men are incapable of love sometimes, okay? Sometimes. Relationships are conditional, but they're conditional because why should somebody stay if they're being treated poorly? And they frame this in a horrible way. It's like, I don't like it. And it's not that it feels bad. It's that it is bad. The way they view it. It's like, no, you literally have watched way too much red meat. Sorry. Like somebody come and get him.
And I think that's actually as they should be. When we create positions in relationships or in society that are completely immune from any kind of revocation, mm-hmm. those are historically the positions that are most prone to abuses.
Right.
Like, I'm glad that divorce exists. Like, because without that exit, some marriages could get really, really dark and really, really bad. I think that divorce is clearly overutilized, but I'm glad that it exists as a social entity. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So I don't love the unconditional word.
I see the point that
myself.
you're making. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that men interpret respect as love.
Yeah.
If a
100%.
woman, if you came to me for advice, Chase, and I sat down with you and I said, okay, well, based on what you're telling me, I think you should try X, Y, and Z, and then you went off and did what the fuck, whatever you wanted to do anyway, well, one, I'd be less likely to sit down with you and give you counsel in the future if you were to ask me for it, because I felt like I took my time to guide you and you didn't have enough faith in what I was saying that you disregarded it. And whatever feeling you might have inside of you about me, in that moment, I would feel like you didn't really value what I had to give.
Right.
As a result of that, let's say, disobedience. It's another possible way of approaching faith, actually. Like if a doctor gives you a certain treatment, says, hey, you got to take this pill twice a day, and you think you should do 30 minutes of cardio, and I think you need to cut this out, and you nod and say, yeah, that's great. And then you go off and do whatever you want anyway. You had no faith in that treatment. You didn't believe that if you followed that advice, it would actually improve your health and get you what you wanted. So faith has to be connected to obedience.
Right.
If you're not obeying, you have no faith that that will work.
Right. And your disobedience also shows that you don't value what the other person is saying. And
certainly,
if I'm just not following anything that you're saying after coming to you for advice or counsel or whatever, you're going to be like, well, why would I continue giving that to you?
I hear you. Like, and this is tricky because then you get into, well, why should I be obedient? Why should I listen to you? Well, because I'm the man, or because I'm the doctor. It's like those are ultimately arguments of authority, and they only work to an extent, right? So I was also a teacher for about 20 years, and I worked with thousands.
I always think about like dominant, submissive, obedient, who's in charge, blah, blah, blah. And people will give the airplane and co-pilot and pilot example. I think of dancing. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat. If you do ballroom, high star, you cannot successfully dance like real dancing, not your twerking shit. You cannot have a partner in dance and both be leading. It doesn't work. And it's not just that the submissive one, if you will, the female role, actually, it's not that they're degrading themselves by having to follow. It's so that the dance works, you know? Maybe there's a better way to say that. I think about this often. I have my motorcycle license. If I ever ride 2-up with somebody and I am in the I'm driving. I'm riding the bike. I'm in charge. I have a girl on the back. They have to follow my movements. Don't overturn. Okay, we all flying. Okay, like that's when I'm in control, right? I'm trying to think of other. I had a new one where I was like, this is a good example of when. Oh, so a stuntman. Think of cheerleading with a single male and a girl. I don't know if you guys are familiar. I used to be a competitive cheerleader. Girl does a flip onto a guy's hand, pushes her up. And this is a great example of when a guy will say, I'm going to create the space to lift you up as the leader. I expect your ass to come down here, but like, it's like, you can see all these dynamics in terms of sports. I don't know what else I was thinking. I was going to do a video on it, but men always want to be in charge. I get it. But there's sometimes where men can create a space that's safe, where the woman can take lead, but she's not going to fuck it up because you created the space. You're kind of leading. It's kind of like, yeah.
Of students, and some of them would follow my advice and some of them would not. And when I'd ask the students who weren't following my advice why they didn't do these things, they said, well, I thought that I could do this, but not do that. They were like cherry picking the things that they wanted to do, which is kind of irrational because if they knew better what to do, they would be the teacher. Do you understand?
Right.
So what I told them is that the only way that they could possibly prove that I was wrong, that I didn't know what I was talking about, was for them to do exactly what I told them to do and for it to not work.
Right.
Because until that happens, we don't know if I'm the problem or you're the problem.
Right. Right.
And usually when I frame it that way, just as an experiment, do exactly what I tell you to do, and we'll see what the outcome and results are. Usually I get a lot of more buy-in into that relationship afterwards.
Yeah,
as
that
opposed
makes
to, well,
sense.
I'm the teacher, you should just follow what I have to say.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I've had so many bad teachers in my life.
Yeah, same.
If we can just, I think we didn't fully get over your original question. We were talking about the useful eight.
Sure.
Useful eight.
I have a clarifying question for that particular subject.
Yeah. Do you want
if
to
I may.
restate your, because
Yeah, so
your original question?
The original question was what are the top qualities that people, men and women, or men or women, should look for in a long-term partner? And on the subject of the useful eight, we can start there. So when I queried my audience about what questions they might have for you, one of the most common ones that women had were, so like there was one girl that messaged me. She was saying, I'm not married yet, but I want to do everything that I can to prepare myself to become as valuable as possible for my future husband. So she wants to make herself, let's assume she's doing everything she can to take care of her health, her physical appearance, all that kind of stuff.
Great.
What qualities can she, or women in general, besides just being inoffensive, what qualities can women cultivate to make themselves as valuable as possible?
Again, inoffensiveness is huge because I want to stress this. It's better to get rid of the one or two things that are sabotaging your success than to practice 10 new good things that are just going to be canceled out by the one or two bad things that you're not attending to. So the inoffensiveness is key. It should be number one.
Okay.
One thing that I think might be useful for people to approach, both men and women, is to think of relationships like roles. People often have a problem with the word role. They think that it's playing make-believe, or it's faking, or it's lying. And I think it can be those things, but I also think that it's not necessarily those things. We all have roles at work, right? We don't just say whatever we want when we're on the job or do whatever we feel like doing in the moment. A lot of us have this professional role, and it doesn't mean that we're lying or faking. It just means
The problem with neurotic women, it's exhausting, emotionally exhausting, dealing with a woman who is highly neurotic, highly disagreeable. Everything bothers her. Nothing is ever good enough. Most women lean more towards neurotic, or like on the big five. Oh my God, my dogs are eating right now. I'm going to have to end this and take them out. But openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. Women are usually higher up on neuroticism than men, which means they experience more negative emotion. Most women are going to have some level of contradicting themselves, okay? I do it all the time, and I'm so aware that I do it. I guess from red pill probably, so I can call it out and I get a pass, but man, do I feel bad for men. Like, it makes no sense. Literally not. I could be like, I want the room temperature to be 68 degrees because I like it cold. And then in 30 minutes, I'm like, you know what? It's too cold. I need it to be 72 degrees in order to, like, I don't know. I can't think of a fucking example, but it happens to me all the time. Like, literally contradicts itself. So all women are going to have some level of it. But I find the women that are really disagreeable or like narcissistic anyway. Like bridezillas. That's how I think of it.
that certain parts of ourselves come to the forefront while we're on the job and certain others fade into the background. And the more you occupy that role, the more that you're like authentically embodying that role too.
Right.
So and everyone's professional in their own unique way. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I think get people into a lot of trouble, especially women, is they kind of think that the relationship, their intimate relationship, is where they don't have to do any of that. It's like out there is where I have to keep it together and serve other people and, keep it together. Here, I don't have to do that. I should just be able to say whatever I want and do whatever I want, and you should just love me irrespective.
I feel like he's watched my video because I literally say that about men. Okay, I got to take my dogs out. We'll be back again. We'll probably do an open live stream if you guys want to call in and get some discussions going. Okay. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Bye.